Make sure sounds work. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Yay.
Hi.
Oh, Josh is not here to put
Hello.
music on, so I'm gonna have. Oh crap! I can't start it because he's got all access to all those things. Damn you, Josh. Hey, everybody.
Because sabotage.
I'm using like permissions to make it so that they can.
Hey, we're at 103 now.
How did Sam get banned?
Nate, what did you do?
I didn't
Who
do
banned
that.
Sam?
I wasn't even in chat when that happened.
This is
I
Nate
just got
banned
here.
and then Nate removed ban.
Whoops.
That's weird.
Someone has access to Nate's.
I'm gonna check that real quick because
Yeah.
So before we run around and do introductions, we're gonna quickly say thanks to everybody. It's Purple Eater Remedies, I Am Tex, Panda of Mystery, Arcane Tink, Winter Blossom, Palton Shoot, Noka Medina, Ironbeard, Panorama Guy, Arcasipi, Huggle in the Jungle, and Random 90s Fan. Thank you all for jumping in and following. We have been driving to get that 100 follower goal, so it's awesome and amazing that all of you jumped in and joined us today. So thanks for being here. And
Yeah, I recognize so many of those names from Touchpad Warriors.
I'm over on
chat, so
Touchpad
thank you
Stream.
all.
Usually I'm on the wrong account, but if you see me in that chat, that's Heavy Betty. And then obviously we all know who Stream Wife is. Is it Stream Wife or Stream Mommy over there? What do they call you?
Both.
Both. All of the things.
It depends on who's talking to me.
We are missing one right now, but he is just getting some pizza delivered. So he said he'd be right back and join us. And he's also running the music. So that's why we're just talking right now. And there's no music. Usually we're very organized. No, we're not.
We're totally
luckily we
professional.
planned an acapella, right, gang?
Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Why did you go to the Jeopardy? I don't want to
Jeopardy
acapella the Jeopardy.
I was already doing it.
You
Fun
started.
fact, does anybody
Sorry.
know Jimmy from the Jeopardy show? The guy who does like the random facts and things like that?
Yeah.
He does like a little segment on it. He was one of my clients for the longest time, and I had no idea who this dude was.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He's like, yeah, I'm on the Jeopardy show. I'm like, fuck.
So we'll do some quick intros. Josh is having difficulty apparently with the delivery guy. So unfortunately,
Oh no.
he will be back soon.
He's got a fist fight for his pizza.
Apparently he's got to scrap somebody for his pizza. So we'll start with Zach.
Hi everyone, I'm Zach. I play Doran, the Dragonborn Barbarian.
Thanks, Josh. He sprinted back here to turn on some music for us. Nate.
Hi, I'm Nate. I play Soren, the half-elf blade singer rogue.
And Mel.
Cat in my feet.
Hi, I'm Mel. I play Blair, the spirit host witch warlock.
Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Maximiel, the tiefling sorceress bard.
And Maddie.
Hello, I'm Maddie. I play a half elf. She is a gun tank gunslinger named Isadora.
And Josh, who is busy grabbing his pizza, plays Jaeger, the human gunslinger alchemist. What did we get? Thanks, Maddie, for resubbing as we're getting those all going back in here too. Last time we were here, we had been almost in a bar fight that we kind of had to start the session with and be like, hey, we're totally not getting into a bar fight, guys. That was a mistake on the DM's part, who does not know how to set the tone apparently. As everybody thought we were about to start scrapping. We all gotta. Oh, Mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I'm Mom.
Where's the note?
Obligatory hi, moms.
Get her with the hi, Moms.
Everyone, Swarmer.
Attack. There's enough of us now. We can really attack her.
Hi, Mommy.
Mom.
Yeah, it was always a bar fight, but almost a bar fight as we definitely were not throwing down with this the leader of this underworld gang who was trying to help you guys out and give you guys a little bit of help, trying to find the Ebon Hand in the area. Liliana is the leader of, man, this is what we get for taking 2 weeks off. My brain just goes to, especially when I play 4 other D&D games. My brain goes to mush.
She's the leader of the Thieves Guild, I think, right?
Yeah. She's basically the
Yes.
leader of the Thieves Guild. I couldn't remember if I gave it a fancy name or not.
Nope.
I failed. And she's just the Valecor's Haven Thieves Guild, the local chapter.
Thieves Guild Incorporated.
They're not too inventive down here in Eterna. Did not get into a fight with this changeling as Maximil had stumbled into her using her Crystella Tenuum necklace to find out that she was indeed a changeling. People were getting a little bit defensive. And thanks for the sub, Marcus. Thank you.
We got a hype train.
Hype train
coming.
Hype train.
So we did a little bit of investigation around. People wanted to, basically, you all were going to utilize the opportunity that was the ascension of Botrin into a god, which we did actually finally come up with a name. I think we were all on board with a Nerian. Was that a thumbs up from everybody on board with a Nerian?
I believe so.
For the name. So this is the name we've totally used for the last 3 weeks because it took us a long time to decide it. But
Every time that we just sat there and went,
yep, every time we tried. So Botrin ascended to the position of the dreamer, god of sleep and dreams, and ascended into the god's name of Anirian. And basically this is cause for huge celebration, even though it almost brought about the end of this entire place because shadow creatures attacked and it was terrifying. Thanks for popping in, Arxippy. We'll see you later. It still works out that even though most of the people survived and it didn't destroy the whole city, it was terrifying, but they recognize that there is a new dreamer, Anirian, that is there's going to be a big celebration for in a couple days. You all needed to speak with Lord Valacor and Lady Seraphina after talking with the city guard, because essentially you came into town and shit went sideways. So they had some questions. They wanted to know some stuff, and you all needed a way into meeting with the king of Eterna. It has a name totally written somewhere in my notes. It is around here somewhere. I'll find it. It's not important right this second.
Dwindle something. Right? Of Eterna or
Of
Valacor
Eterna.
Haven? Yeah, what the fuck was his name? Is Dwindle? I thought. No, wait. Is it? King.
I'm all over the place today. But anyways, you all needed to go meet with him in his city, but they were just going to let you walk into court. So you needed to have a reason to go there because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with the borders. Apparently the undead are attacking down here as well. And we say down here we have a lot of new friends, so just to let you know, Cyorion, we will show you this really quick too. See if I can do that. Boom.
King Dushind. I found it.
King Dushind, yep. Cyorion used to be a whole planet, but kind of about the back end of it blown off at one point, and now it looks like a bowl-shaped planet on the other side. It's not flat Earth, it's bowl Earth. And
Cyorion
inside
had its
on
back blown out.
Whoa, thanks.
Zach, did you see the eyebrow raise I was doing?
Thanks guys, appreciate it.
Yep.
Just fuck the whole
Zach's like,
planet
whatever.
apart.
Gonna be one of those nights.
Seriously. So on the underside of Cyorion in Eterna, we needed to figure out what was going on with the undead, what Amana's up to down here, and you found yourselves in the midst of the civil war that's ongoing between the forces of the kingdom and the Ebon Hand. They are definitely at odds down here, and apparently the Ebon Hand operates within the city, but they do operate pretty much under the radar, as well as they did in Cyorion. Most people think of them as the boogeymen. There's stories that in the Maw, that giant whirlpool in the center of Eterna, they toss people into there as sacrifices, and they believe that their planet is anchored to this place and needs to be released by feeding it enough stuff that it's satisfied and lets go of whatever it's holding on to so that they can rule their planet appropriately. But they just keep throwing people into the Maw. That's their thing. Hey, Josh.
He's back. He
Howdy.
lives.
Back.
Yeah, I'm so glad you survived the fight with the pizza man.
They lost
So
their
I'm guessing you
limbs.
won.
No flesh wounds here.
So we did some investigation. Jaeger did his Batman thing, snuck around, followed some people. You guys found some appropriate clothing in the area by visiting Tessara's attire emporium. Found some stuff that actually works for here because you're all still in your winter garb.
Me.
Went to the Shadowed Chalice to meet up with Elena, the barmaid that works there, friend of the lady you had met at your tavern, and speak to her because her brother had gone missing. She thought it was with the Ebon Hand. You find out that she had gone to the City Watch. They basically brushed her off, opened and closed an investigation, said that there was nothing that they could do. They had no information. They dismissed her as paranoid, and she also knew of an old man Thistledown and a reclusive scholar that works over in the Spire of Knowledge, and he has lost 2 apprentices apparently, and has been branded as a conspiracy theorist, and they kind of ignore his pleas as well. So it's been a tough go for some of the people who are missing folks. And you all were going to investigate. I think that's where we left off, was speaking with Elena, and and you did find out about some secret underground fighting ring, which is thus the title of this entire stream. And you know that you need to speak to a gentleman by the name of Valen Blackthorn to get your way into the fighting ring downstairs. Didn't really hear anything about that other than you know it exists now. Oh no,
we got the communal sippy cup of shared language.
Yep.
Yep, you did get the communal sippy cup of shared language.
Ooh.
Gotta have it.
Also, thanks for the hype train, everybody. Choo choo.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you all were... I think you had all met up in the Shadow Chalice. That dimly lit, very roguish looking establishment where people are huddled in quiet corners, sharing secrets and rumors, and that's where you all had met with Elena. So, what would you guys like to do?
What time of day is it?
You arrived here at some point in the morning. Let me see your passive survival.
It's probably like 12, I think.
I want to say it feels like it's probably around midday. If we woke up this morning, did all that.
It's high 11:30.
Yeah, it's about high 11:30.
Purple o'clock. All right.
Purple o'clock.
It is very purple o'clock here.
It is very.
But
We have a
it's
unique
about midday.
Purple theme going here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're aware it's about midday, lunchtime, and for this place, lunch is even slow. There's just a few regulars in here. But middle of the day, Jaeger had done some sneaky stuff. People were milling about town. Most of the city seems to quickly have recovered from the attack, and people are going about their business. But a lot of the city seems in preparation now for this event that's going to be happening in probably about 36 hours time. Starting from what you've heard people discussing about, it's supposed to start tomorrow night. Yep. So, what would you guys like to do?
Did we all go into the inn? I thought it was just 3 people.
I know.
Oh, that's right. It was
Doran, Soren, and one more were there, I think.
Isadora.
Isadora.
They were masquerading as
I
my
think it was-
guards or whatever.
It was Doran, Soren, Isadora, and Jaeger. Jaeger wanted to talk about Fight Club.
That's
And
right.
I think
I was going to.
Blair and Max were just hanging out outside.
Okay. Works for me. Don't everybody jump in at once.
I guess walk back
Right.
outside and reconvene with the rest of the group.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did we find out? What have we got?
Well, apparently I can beat people up for gold.
We already
Okay.
Or you just find out
of our
something.
life.
How much gold?
That's a good question. We never really inquired as to the... I mean, I assume it would be like the purse of the fight. Like if everybody is putting in their bets, then I would take a cut of the pot, I think. I think that's a question for the person who organizes these things.
And
Might
is
also
it
be-
possible to use unconventional means in these fights?
Probably not.
Depends on where you're fighting.
This
All I
is
know is
probably a pretty well established underground ring, if you know what I mean.
Must they just throw caution to the
so
wind
it's
and say,
like-
fuck it, any underhanded cheating is totally allowed if you're clever enough to pull it off.
Yeah,
be.
exactly. What if you just walked in a size too big?
But if you just walked in and like this is his head, and just like dragon chomp the head off, you know,
I mean,
like teeth. No one's got
particularly
teeth
don't
like
want
you
to
do.
bite somebody's head off, but
But that'd be so sick, right?
I'm
That'd
pretty
be
sure
so
it's
cool to
not like a
watch.
fight to the death. I'm pretty sure it's just like a fight
Oh.
to the unconsciousness.
What if
You
you
know.
had 4 arms?
I'm pretty sure he said something about fists and fighting with your hands.
Yeah, it's a bare knuckle boxing kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't think having weapons or biting people's heads off is going to help.
That'd be so cool, though.
All right, so we know that there's an underground fighting ring. How does this help us in our attempt to get into the vault?
Oh no, I don't think it does. It just lets me fight people and win money.
It's,
Okay.
Not necessarily. I mean, there's clearly an underground atmosphere going on, so it gets us more ingrained with what's happening, and we can get more information at the event.
You gotta bring up a good point. If I'm in the ring fighting and you all are in the crowd, you could maybe grease some palms and figure out information.
Why would we want to grease palms?
It's an expression,
saying.
Emil.
Quick
Oh.
how
question.
do you know that phrase?
Yeah.
Did you guys give the party name to the guards you were working with, and when you were talking to them about getting an audience with Lord Valakor and Lady Serafina?
Maximil
We
did. Maximil did. She would
Definitely.
have.
Yeah, she totally would have. Okay.
Yeah.
Jaeger and Soren, as you guys are having this discussion, the two of you notice that people are like walking past you as you're all outside talking, and fairly busy street here. I mean, it's quiet because of this particular tavern. Like, people aren't going in here, but it's secluded back in a corner a little bit. It was at the intersection of two of the spires, and it's just tucked into that section there. But on the main street, there's still a lot of traffic on that main street as people are moving goods and stuff. Probably a third of the people are slowing down and talking amongst themselves and looking at you. You got some looks as you entered, because obviously this is a Fairland city, mostly dark elves and deep gnomes and stuff like that. So you got looks for being outsiders, but now people are actively having conversations while slowing down and looking at you guys and basically talking and pointing, and you two pick up on that. You definitely
We
clock
know
that.
the language now, right? Like we can understand what they're saying, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys got the communal sippy cup of knowing language.
Does it seem like they're just kind of interested in us being different and here, or is it like
Make
I don't
an
know.
insight check.
What's
Give
the
me an
read?
active insight check. See if you can
All right.
see what it is.
12 plus 10, 22?
You get the feeling people are confirming their suspicion about who you are.
Like they heard, oh yeah, there's other people here, and that's them there.
Yeah.
In front of us. Okay, cool.
Which gets a little bit more confirmed as somebody walks up to you, Soren specifically. A middle-aged woman. For an elf, she looks a little older, so she's probably about 600 or 700.
Mm-hmm.
But she reaches out to take your hand and talk to you.
Just standing with my arms crossed, just hello.
If you don't ever give her a hand, she just takes you by the arms, is holding you on the biceps. Please, you're with the Midnight Parliament, right? I need you to tell Anirian that my dreams are troubled. I fear for my son. Please, I need to know that he's going to be okay.
We're not really affiliated with the spire itself. You would probably be better served with,
But
one
but
of the
you
attendants.
delivered Anirian to us.
in a sense.
You helped stop the nightmare as it was attack. I haven't found him since the attacks, and I'm concerned.
Found who?
My son.
Ah, right. Sorry.
My dreams are troubled, and I'm concerned for his safety. Please speak to the dreamer on my behalf. My son Teravine, he needs help. I know of it.
Just look at anybody else. Just help, please.
We will do our best. We can't
Oh, shit.
promise that, our who was our friend became a god and may not listen to us anymore, but we will keep Teravin in our thoughts as we slumber and try to make sure that he is cared for.
She gives you the very cliche like soft hand on the face and like, bless you, thank you,
Okay.
sweet girl, thank you. And you start to attract a little bit of attention as people are now asking and shouting out questions or calls for aid from the
Is
crowded
this going to
streets.
keep happening?
I don't like this.
I think that we are the messengers for Bartran's ascension. We need to go. They're going to know that we have no power once we are displayed as having no real control over this.
Yes,
let's-
maybe we need
let's-
to retreat
let's get
back
on with
to.
it.
Inside, go inside.
Inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
You head inside. Crowd of about a dozen people follow you in,
God damn it.
offering to buy drinks, and you see Elena as she sees you guys come back in. Was there something else that? Little help out here. Somebody peeks back from the kitchen. They fix their shirt and come running out to start helping guests.
Mouthing to her, I'm so sorry.
They all start ordering offerings and gifts for you all.
Oh dear, this is
Hello, everybody.
definitely-
Thank you so much. We
We need-
appreciate your kindness. We will not be accepting any offers, questions, or gifts at this time. Please respect our privacy. It is a very tense and emotionally high time for us at this moment. We just request peace to cope with the loss of a close friend. Thank you. And she just turns around and just sits at the bar.
Lean over to Isadora. That was very well said. Have you done that before?
Yes.
I'm not going to require a persuasion check or anything. You see 2 or 3 young male individuals as people are starting to make offerings and things like that, ignoring what you asked for, take up these kind of bodyguard roles, and they're just like, you all need to clear out of here. Move along. And they start ushering people out, and one of them leans up. Don't worry. I know who you guys are. I've got your back. I'm happy to serve the Midnight Parliament. And
Isadora leans over and like grasps him by the shoulder and gives him like a good little wink.
shudders.
Shudders.
The 3 of them essentially set up posts, 2 of them outside, 1 inside, to make sure that nobody messes with all of you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Doran's gonna lean over to Jaeger and just be like, maybe a smoke bomb would not go amiss right now.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was really interested to see what Isadora was gonna do there, and it kind of worked. But I had my own little plan there. I think if we're gonna stay here, we're gonna gather a crowd when we leave, and this is gonna be a continuation of constant issues.
Does this mean we go via roof like Jaeger? We pull a Jaeger, we go on the roofs?
We might want to attract this group away and come back unattracted. Get my drift?
Throw them away somewhere else and then disappear and they're gone somewhere else, yeah.
I'm
Are
good
we
with
talking like
distractions.
magic?
I could
Like
take the
disguise?
Sure.
No, I think
Some kind of illusion, maybe make it look like we are somewhere where we're not.
I
We'll
could
just
blow them
leave
all
them.
up.
No,
No.
It was a joke.
no.
It was just a joke. Just a joke.
See, we never know though, because sometimes you do actually suggest
Yeah.
that.
I could blow something up, but
No.
I was thinking just lead them down a series of dark alleyways and then
Like
disappear.
that toilet in that one town?
we don't talk about that day.
Forgot about the toilet.
How did you forget about that?
That was such an epic moment. I remember so clearly now.
Good Lord.
12 whole minutes of us just sitting there at the edge of our seats like, what the fuck is happening?
Jaeger
Just taking the most explosive poo of his life.
God.
It was rough.
That coffee went straight
coffee,
through
man.
him.
Terrible coffee. Never again.
Oh God.
I mean, I could attempt to take them on a wild goose chase. I'm loud and bright, and I could just take them somewhere and then turn into someone else when I turn a corner and come back.
Not
I mean,
bad,
we could take him to the spire and then we just go up and leave the spire.
I also like that idea. Because we do have to go to one of the spires anyway.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Can I have a drink first?
Oh, there's a bunch of drinks on the bar that were offered to you, and they ushered them out. So there's just a
Oh, for
selection
sure.
of beverages.
She's just surrounded by drinks. Get this picture. And she's just like a very impatient puppy, just trying to be good, just trying to do good, just like.
Go ahead, Isadora.
Can I?
You can drink. Go ahead. Go
Can I
on.
please?
Go on, girl.
Just like she's like shaking. She's trying so hard to restrain herself.
Hey, tip the wait staff.
She opens up her coin purse and just shows it to Jaeger, and it's completely empty. She's like,
Here, I'll hand her 2 gold. Just take this. Whatever. But if you're gonna take these people's free drinks, you gotta at least pay for some of it.
Isadora, you are not good at deception. Against Jaeger's perception. There's 10 gold pieces in that
wait,
carriage
I
purse.
have money?
You have 10 gold pieces.
I do?
Yes.
That was honesty. That was being honest. I wasn't trying to deceive.
That's all right.
So Isadora thought she had no money, but you like go, no, there's an extra pocket right there, and you open it and there's 10 coins sitting in there.
I won't let her know.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that, you're broke. Huh, anyway.
Strange.
Shame.
Just a little chuckle to myself.
Thank God she's good with that gun, because she is dumb. Let's say.
No, we should take some time, see who comes in here. I think give it a couple, like maybe 15 minutes or so, and then we all need to walk out of here and draw this large crowd that's going to be outside away as far as we can and come back later.
Do you need us to draw them away for you? One by the door.
We got it.
We can just tell them that you'll meet them somewhere else and they'll go.
I could always
Tell them
throw
to go
out.
to the spire of the dreamer. Gods, we're making this too complicated. We have no
Yeah.
power over this whole situation, and they are looking for people who have religious influence. We don't have that.
All right. We can do that.
Thank you.
He steps outside and you hear him speaking out an announcement in the distance. Midnight Parliament will be going to the Spire of the Dreamer. Please direct your questions and inquiries there. If they are able to meet with you and bring your request to do Onirian, they will. Thank you. Have a good day. You hear a bunch of
Oh my God.
grumbling and stuff outside, but the crowd starts to disperse.
You know, I think this time we may be a little in over our heads.
This time, we're always in over our heads.
Yes, when have we not been in over our heads? Dragons, giant waves of undead armies, god of rot, or whatever she is.
I just had this wave of existential dread. Maxmeal, are you okay?
Yeah.
You were saying we are over our heads? Way over our heads? Are you sure?
Only just now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the moment. You're
Well,
choosing?
you know, people are like looking
Too much
to
attention
us.
from random civilians is the moment where we're in over our heads.
Oh,
No,
gotcha.
okay, look, I've been getting too much attention for being whatever forever. Okay, it's not that, but it's that they're looking for us for help.
Yeah.
They're looking for us to do things that we may not be able to do. Like
We
most of the
definitely can't
time
do.
we can like blow shit up and fight things. We're good at that. We can do the espionage stuff. You guys are good at that. Like, but asking us for miracles is something we can't really do yet. So, you know,
Yeah.
this time a little over our heads.
Are you working on miracles? Is that something you're figuring out?
I'm working on it.
I haven't really been devoting my time to miracles, I'm being honest.
Well,
It's,
you know
it's more just creative ways to stab people.
Honestly, that just sounds like more magic.
Yeah, like, you know, I I think doing magic is a bit of a miracle because I had never learned how. I just sort of did it. So, everything's a bit of a miracle, I think.
You're a miracle, Max.
Thank you. So are you.
Oh,
Is that the bardic inspiration?
Yes, that's bardic inspiration. You get a D6 that you can add to something in the next 10 minutes.
all right. Let's go do something.
So go flirt with someone and make it go better this time.
I'm gonna go find that lady from last night. I need to make a comeback.
She's married. I'm telling you, you're swinging at nothing.
Oh, that's what that was. I thought it was just a late night.
As Elena's picking up the glasses that you've already drank off of the bar in front of you, you could be inspired to, go follow up on the leads for my brother, but that she goes to the back.
It's wrangling cats. I'm very sorry. That was actually the plan, though.
I mean, that was the plan before all the people showed up. So
Yeah.
Wait, following a brother? What's that? I was outside.
We didn't
with
even get to talk
Blair.
about that. So her brother has
Oh.
gone missing. The City Watch has been unhelpful, and we are sort of the fallback option. We have a
Okay.
lead to follow at the Spire of Knowledge. Someone else who has had a lot of people disappear, and people have sort of just swept it under the rug, labeled him a conspiracy theorist, and he seems to be very knowledgeable on the subject now.
See,
So-
that doesn't feel over our heads. It
No,
could
that's
be.
very in our
But-
lane.
It is
Yeah.
definitely within our wheelhouse.
Yeah. Let's
Again,
do that.
that's the line you're drawing. Not talking to dragons.
I mean, talking to dragons is easy. Hi, Dora.
No.
How you doing?
No,
Pretty good.
no, you
Ooh,
oversimplified that,
ooh,
Jaeger.
hold
She
on.
didn't try to talk to him. She
Doran, you
tried
just
to
got-
fix him.
Doran, you just got called the one thing you hate. 'Cause
Yeah.
You are very much not a dragon.
That's true. That's I'm just gonna shoot daggers at Maximilian, just like
I'm sorry.
See how easy was that? Talking to you know what?
but let's just be a little more careful with how we choose our words, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Sir, we're like the same age. Don't give me that shit.
No. I just feel bad. I'm sorry.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Gonna pick up Maximilian, carry her on my shoulders. We're walking out.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Like, so I'm sitting on your shoulder?
Yeah,
Like,
so you are like
okay.
you are like
Ah. Wow, so this is what you can see all the time.
The ceiling and the door is very low compared to where you're sitting.
watch your head.
Ow.
Um,
Horns.
As you step outside,
The horns get caught.
one of the three individuals is left, the one that had offered to go outside and talk to everybody. They're mostly headed that way, towards the Spire of the Dreamer. Probably go around the left side there and you'd be better off.
Will that take us to the Spire of Knowledge? Because that's actually where we're going.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 miles that direction.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I'll give him a handshake and slide him a silver.
Thank you. If there's anything else I can do to help you all, I am at the service of the Midnight Parliament. Clearly, the heralds of Onirian need to be assisted as much as possible.
Don't
What
call
was
us that.
can do is tell us your name. Yeah.
Yeah. Name.
Trayvon.
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 Trey. No.
You're not doing enough Y's. There's a silent on there.
TRAE.
Y apostrophe VAHN.
TREYVONNE.
What?
I had a different spelling, but I changed it just to fuck with you more.
I'm just gonna start
All right,
spelling it
Trayvon.
phonetically in my book to make it easy.
That's the best to do.
Hoper.
All right, Trayvon, we appreciate your help. And then she does a little, like, as she walks past him, she does a signature little boop the snoot. It's a little boop.
Again.
Those-
It's a little boat. It's a little boat for you, darling. Boop.
A little boop.
All right.
I'm putting my hood up. Not attract any more crowds.
Did you all get new clothes, or was it just Jaeger who got appropriate clothing?
I
did.
just went back into regular like blue and homemade clothing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I went back to my regular the outfit I got from whichever city it was that we got outfits from.
Reseda.
Reseda, yeah.
Max probably would have gotten a new outfit, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I think it was 2 gold.
Okay.
It was like a gold or 2 gold or something
Yeah, I
like
was thinking it was 1.
Isadora switched into like gear that was like of this area and color scheme with like a hood that could kind of cover her up and a little mask if she needs to put it on. She doesn't have it on right now though. The hood. She has the clothes on.
Darn.
Quick question, Ben. He called us the Heralds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Heralds
Of Anirian.
of Anirian. We don't even know if we can contact Onirian. Like,
We do not. That was why I was like, we should not get involved
No.
in potentially promising these people anything.
You
yeah.
guys just tried sending him a message?
No. Okay. Been a busy
Wait,
day.
how do we
Can I-
spell the new name for Botrin?
Oh,
After Blair said that, could Maximiel try to send a sending to Botrin?
Sure. You attempt to cast the spell of sending to Botrin, but it doesn't fully connect to the other side. You're not able to get it to complete, so there's no target for the spell.
Okay, can I try it to Onirian?
You are familiar with Botrin, and you were leaving the plane, you were leaving the dreaming as Botrin was ascending. You are, just first time thinking about it, you don't know exactly what Onirian looks like. Whenever you picture it, you're picturing Botrin sitting on that big pile of cushy pillows, but Botrin was fading from being. Everything that was Botrin is gone, and a new entity is in their place. It has some similarities to Botrin, but you can't really picture exactly what Onirian looks like.
So can't just message Onirian or Botrin. That's out of.
Well, we
unless you-
tried.
What?
Well, you tried.
Yeah. Thinking.
Wouldn't you
anyone-
be able to do that, Blair? I mean, you are like the creation of this being. Ooh.
I think
mean,
the ooh was very necessary.
I can't send, but maybe when I sleep, I can just be like, "Hey, you there? It's me."
Are you there, guys?
I think that's a great
It's
idea.
me, Blair.
It's me, your bestie. Hello.
Just start busting out Adele. Hello,
Who?
it's me.
Who's that?
A famous bard from
A famous
the
bard
capital.
from
Famous
yeah.
part back home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peepers hearing you talking about being Botrin's bestie, like angrily pot and pecks you on the side of the head.
Okay, yes, you're my first bestie, but I'm allowed to have other besties. Give him some speeches.
He looks like everything is a fuck.
Existence is a fuck.
Oh, she's wearing the shirt.
She always wears it. It's her Monday shirt now.
I love that shirt. I love that
That's your
shirt so
Monday
much.
shirt.
All right.
I do the face smushes like you would a dog.
Oh no.
Just so cute when you're angry.
It's just an angry little.
Little Putu Griffin.
Mm.
All right. Heading to the Spire of Knowledge then.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. You're able to blend in a little bit more as you're moving through, not sitting there on the edge of the street, just discussing. And you catch a couple glances from people, considering what you may be. But word has spread that if they royally want your help, they should head to the Spire of Dreaming if they want it. But you're able to head to the Spire of Knowledge without a lot of intervention from anybody. A couple people passing you on the street try to stop you for a minute, but then you see Trayvon is behind you and is staying about 10 to 15 feet behind and grabs people and is just like, "Oh no, you should head to the Spire of the Dreaming. They'll be able to assist you there. They're just running a few errands. There'll be a moment."
I do the. to Trayvon. You're a real one.
I give Trayvon some candy, the spicy candies that are so like, just,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he gobbles them up. He's enjoying the heck out of them.
Good help.
How old is the kid?
He's a young dark elf. You know, so
Okay.
he could be anywhere between 60 and 200 years old. He looks fairly young.
Okay.
Heading into the Spire of Knowledge, there's a lot more people moving in and out of this place. The interior of the Spire of Knowledge is a grand tapestry of intellect and wisdom. And it's a place where scholars, mages, seekers of knowledge converge to unlock the mysteries of the universe. Inside, towering bookshelves line the walls, reaching towards the vaulted ceiling of the first floor. Each shelf laden with ancient tomes and magical grimoires, meticulously organized scrolls, and the scent of aged parchment and enchanted inks permeates the air, creating an atmosphere that ignites the curiosity of anyone who enters. The central atrium on the ground floor is a fairly busy hub of scholarly activity. The arched doorways lead to various specialized rooms and studies. You can see even from here, now that you've got your potion of understanding, the sippy cup of language.
The sippy cup.
You can see that they're each dedicated to specific studies, from arcane arts to historical archives. Doorways are adorned with intricate carvings depicting the scenes of scholarly pursuits and magical discoveries. And larger lecture halls have doors on this ground floor. You can see that they're open right now, not in use, but have room for discussions and presentations with tiered seatings for audiences to join in. Enchanted orbs of light hover over them, covering a warm, gentle glow upon lecturers and students. And it seems that one of them had just gotten out, and there's probably 60 or 70 people pouring out of one of the lecture halls. Soren, you had a question.
Anything that looks like it might pertain to blade singing?
There is a massive amount of information here. You would have to spend some time on the main floors in seeing what you can see for books. There does not appear to be a blade singing hall or like room.
A hall. Okay.
Yeah. But there's tons of information here.
Okay.
You could just walking in, Soren, you get a look and you're reminded of the libraries back in Busat. Back in the university, you feel like you could spend years in here.
I'm gonna tap Max on the or are you still up there? Or
Oh yeah, I'm up there.
I'm gonna tap her on the leg and just, I'm going to go find an attendant. I think there's something here that I might need desperately.
Good luck with your reading, wizard person.
But
Go
you
ahead
wait
and learn magic from a book.
Can I
You
go
want to
in?
take peepers with you just in case we need to get back in contact with you immediately.
Oh yeah, sure. Come on. Do you speak? Doesn't know. Come on.
Heading up further, you can see that there are winding staircases around lifts. Most of the younger students appear to be using the staircases. They're made from polished marble etched with runes of learning. So there's magical runes carved into them. Spiraling up along the core of the spire, where two lifts also operate that lead to higher floors that house even more specialized studies in private chambers. Once you kind of get a look around and find that there is there's a information desk kind of right there, and there's a little map next to it, and a couple attendants working with some people. But you see that on the higher floors, there's even smaller specialized rooms and private chambers. Ornate railings there, adorned with symbols of different academic disciplines, guide the ascent of people heading up. And you can see, just looking up into this spire, comfortable reading nooks, allowing scholars to pause. You see people working at desks up there with little magic lanterns casting light over them. And this place is a trove of information covered, furnished with heavy wooden tables, plush chairs, astrolabes, magical artifacts, maps adorning the walls, charts, diagrams. This is Soren's happy place. But it's a living, breathing entity of intellectual exploration. And you can hear the murmurs of scholars engrossed in studies and rustling parchment and the outbursts occasionally of magical energy as people experiment in the rooms above. So, Soren sounds like immediately heads off to find stuff with Jaeger.
Oh, Jaeger's coming too? Sweet.
I'm heading off and finding
And,
stuff for
And
me.
Peepers as well.
say I got peepers and
Phenomancy.
let the charisma people do the talking. I'm gonna go do nerd shit.
Nerd shit, let's go.
Everybody
Nerd.
else? You gonna,
In order
you
to
have-
speak a sword at some point, I'm gonna, through Peepers, cast a message to him, be like, "Hello, how are you doing? Are you having fun?"
Peepers, like when the message comes through, Peepers is sitting on your shoulder, turns and looks at you with both wide eyes, and just opens its mouth, and then you hear the voice of Blair inside of your head.
Do I point back at you? I'm doing good. But I don't know how this works. I don't know if I point at the bird or assume where you are, but I'm fine.
Just spilled on my desk, sad face.
I would very much like to see if there's any information in this treasure trove of knowledge on weapons that are like mine, like guns.
Absolutely.
Magical guns bestowed by gods.
Trying to clean up a little bit here.
Mhm.
So, again, you can just YOLO it and run off into the library and see what the hell you find. Or there is an information desk at the center.
I'm gonna go to the information desk. I'm gonna go to whoever is there.
I did not know there was an information desk.
Oh, sorry.
I
I thought I said that. Yeah, that there's
Yeah,
an
I probably
information.
missed it.
Okay.
Max is gonna ratatouille Doran over to the information desk too.
With the horns.
You all start to split off in a few different directions, and then at the same time, you all go, "Oh wait, we could just ask." And then the
All
six
of
of
us
you
meet back up.
meet back up immediately.
Nope.
Why is it doing that?
Jaeger's going upstairs and getting lost.
Okay, Jaeger heads upstairs
All right.
then.
I don't need information desks.
It keeps saying that I'm timing people out and stuff, and I'm trying not to, but it's...
Weird.
Why is it doing this?
I don't know how Twitch works.
I'm not doing anything. Where did they go?
All right.
So,
You head
hi.
up to the information desk. There's a couple people working it, talking with other people, giving them advice. As soon as you start to walk up to it, one of the younger ones like slaps somebody on the arm, and this older gentleman turns around and looks at you. It is it's about a 75-year-old looking human.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay.
He
Hello there.
turns around, puts up glasses, and well, I'll be. You must be the Midnight Parliament I've heard about.
Yes,
Well,
that is
that was-
correct.
Lost, apparently.
Each of us
Sounds like-
have something that we may need assistance with.
Oh, very good. Absolutely, more than happy to assist you. Please, come down here a little bit further. You just continue helping them. Help the younger students. I've got people to assist here.
You right. So I got this thing. She like pulls it out, does like a funny little like flip trick, and like grabs it and is like, "This is a beautiful, wonderful weapon bestowed to me
As you
by goddess."
flip it out and start to say it, he goes, "Amazing! A divine weapon." Just grabs it out of your hands. A divine weapon, unheard of. We've seen a few of these come through here. This is quite interesting. What did you say? You said a goddess gave this to you. It wouldn't happen.
Yes,
Wouldn't happen to
Caliber.
be Caliber. Oh, I knew it had to be Caliber. It's fantastic. Gunpowder is quite an interesting thing. You know, it was supposed to have been bestowed to the world by Caliber herself. You know, but she gave it to the goblins and kobolds first, and you know, they started to destroy things, and then she decided, you know, possibly other races should have this too. Quite
Yeah.
interesting that you found a piece like this. Did you want to know more about it? Did you want to find other things like it?
I like to think I know that weapon very intimately. However, I am looking for any information that would help me improve its performance, capability, anything that
So you-
would provide
you
insight
think
on this
yourself-
side of the world.
You think yourself better than a god that you can improve a weapon that she provided to you. I didn't know they made them so.
I'm fucked up now.
I didn't realize they made them so full of themselves in Cyorion these days. Is that what you do? You sniff your own farts? You're that full of yourself?
Should we like roll for psychic damage for how much she's getting thumped on?
Damn!
Hold on to like the sleeve, just in that like. Okay.
You just see her.
old man,
You see
please.
like you just see her like clenching her fist, just like.
In her mind, Isidore, you hear, "Please don't kill the old man, because he's old and rude."
All you hear in her thoughts is like a barking noise, like like she's just.
And then I'll immediately switch the telepathy over to the old man. You really should say things a little bit nicer.
You hear your voice echoing for eternity. There's no mental connection to him. It's just like you spoke it into an empty room and it's bouncing off endlessly.
That fucking eye-wide moment of like,
sounds
what the fuck?
Let me so sorry. Let me explain myself in a way that is not offensive. I've clearly offended you.
No, you
That
haven't.
that was my bad.
I'm just not one to assume that I'm quite powerful, but I'm not better than a god. Like, I can't design weapons better than they. If they bestowed something upon you, it is bestowed with intention and purpose. It is as good as it should be.
While you rechamber another round to dump on my friend here, do you happen to know where Blade's singing tomes might be held in this expansive, impressive library here?
I do say I have not seen Blade Singers for some time. Guaya was the last time I stood toe-to-toe with them. It was an interesting time. But there are a few tomes here on blade singing. It was an art that there was a handful of elves that had made their way here. Some 300 years ago, maybe 400 years ago, I think. Yeah, possibly. They had spent time here trying to get the art to gain footing here, but most people weren't as interested in that. They didn't think that it had legs, so to speak, even though, quite frankly, it had some of the best legs I've ever seen. They're quite quick.
Okay, let me interested.
It would take some time to find them for you, and unfortunately, I think one is checked out by one of the Grand Maesters, and maybe hard to find that one for you, but I can find some of the original instruction manuals. I believe they had some teachings on basic steps and how to apply blade singing to a normal movement.
I'm familiar with the basics at the very least, but who's checked out the other one?
Well, there's a couple of interesting individuals that usually find those tomes riveting to read, mostly from a historic standpoint, not for learning blade singing, but they're more interested in the history, and especially there's a few of us that are aware of Cyorion, obviously.
Obviously.
But most people that study it believe it to be some far-off place that's not even on this plane of existence. They don't realize how very close it is.
Be amazed how much that sentiment is shared on the other side.
But to answer your question, I apologize. I tend to get off on a bit of tangents, but Theodrin is the Grand Maester who has it. He is quite the historian, Theodrin. And unfortunately, he checks out large quantities of books for whatever his purposes are. Students come down, collect them for him, and they just end up in his study, some of them for a long time. And you see him wave his hand, and this kind of like foggy mist appears, and he begins swiping through, and it looks like a massive set of, like, you're just seeing names and signatures and dates flying past you, and it looks like a million scraps of paper floating in space in front of you as he sorts through it. It's a mess. It's wild. There's no way anybody can search through this, but within about 4 seconds, he's had that one for quite some time. It's been checked out for nearly 2 months now, so he's probably done with it and doesn't mind if you take it back. But you'd have to go make an appointment with his secretary. Again, Grand Mason, very busy fellow. You can find him up on the 18th floor. That's 2 from the top. And his secretary's office there can assist you.
Lovely, thank you.
Were you interested in some of the other books? Because I have the basics, and then I do have one that is the personal journal of a blade singer.
Yes,
That,
please.
Denotes some. That one is quite a treasure. Unfortunately, it is enchanted. It won't be able to leave the premises.
That is perfectly fine.
Okay. So that is the personal journal of Seraphina Swiftblade. She lived about 240 years ago here. Was involved in some magical experimentation and with blade singing and attempting to apply additional energies to her weapon. And the last I heard, I believe she ripped a hole in space and time and ended up in another dimension. Is my understanding. She stabbed her way through the fabric of the universe and was sucked in. But her journal has survived. You know.
Do we know her?
I'm almost positive that's the name that we got from Bryndoinum's laboratory.
Maybe.
Okay, give me a minute.
I think it is. I went back through my notes really quick. That's why I had to type and do a search. I'm pretty sure, but yes, it is that name. If that wasn't the correct one, let me know. And it is that name. It's the name of the journal from the laboratory. You'll find that one. Third floor. There is a martial hall. It's a study of the physical capabilities and how to enchant weapons and things like that. The journal's in there, and he writes on a slip of paper really fast. There's a bookshelf number code. It's like A16, and then it says shelf 4, and it says how many books in it is. From left to right when you go counting in books there.
Okay, I will go look for that.
In our
So-
notes, we have a Lorexana wood singer
Yeah, same. Master of Viridathos.
in an unknown city.
No, different. Yeah, Seraphina Swiftblade
Oh yeah,
is something
different person.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I got 2 now.
Okay. So, no, do not consider myself a god. Fuck up constantly.
Good.
Feel like if I was godly, I'd present so much more that way.
A common misconception, but no. Gods are fallible as well.
They're very chill.
Oh. I don't have much experience with such things. But
Unfortunate. I'm sure you would be a thrill for them at dinner parties.
They don't really do dinner.
Yeah, I
Not
don't really
anymore.
eat.
No, the gods don't do many dinner parties anymore. It's strange.
No, they used to be really fun.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, but they used to be much more sociable. Anywho, if you would like
I would
to,
like my gun back. And again, point me
Absolutely.
in any
You just-
direction. That
he
has,
lets go of the gun and it appears back on your back.
Dude, give me a heart attack. Any information pertaining
That
to
wouldn't work. Your
weaponry
heart
like
doesn't
this
really do
one?
anything, does it?
No, it doesn't. Anything in particular to weapons on this side of the world similar to mine?
If you're interested in magical artifacts, there's magical artifact study on the second floor. He points up and you see an enclave, or an alcove. Sorry, not an alcove that's got magical artifacts just written on the top of it. That is a place not for the study of creation of magical weapons, but for the study of magical artifacts, legendary items that have been gifted to the humanities by the gods. Things of great design far beyond blacksmiths and normal enchantments, and just studying how they work. That entire hall is dedicated to that. You could spend years in there.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to learn more about gifts that have been bestowed by gods. I'm just trying to learn more about guns.
Okay. There is a small group. It's about 4 individuals, I think, that study the enchantment and magical properties of gunpowder. You can find them on the 14th floor. Very small group. Really a small office, not the size more, I think, than this desk. And he motions to it, and this desk could probably fit like 5 or 6 people at it. Quite a crammed room. There's usually 1 or 2 in there at all hours of the day.
You see her pull out her little notebook and write that down. She'll be like, "Thank you very much. May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Your words hurt. Maybe make them a little nicer.
Noted.
Thank you." And she goes to the 14th floor.
How dare you?
think we need that in a quotes channel. Just your words hurt.
Your words hurt. If I may make a suggestion, your words hurt.
I did make a quotes channel for you guys. There you go.
God. That was great.
Thanks for looking up
By the way,
that
do we-
really old note.
Did we
For
get this dude's name, by the way, or no?
No, I was going to ask, but he's very clearly someone interesting. So
Leading in. By the way, you didn't introduce yourself, so hello. Can name, please?
Archmage Alaric Stormweaver, at your service.
Archmage Alaric.
What is
How do
your
you spell that?
Alaric? Alaric, and then Stormweaver. As it sounds.
Can you spell that slower?
Alaric.
Alaric.
Yep.
Like Alaric from the Vampire Diaries.
Thank you.
sure.
Alaric Storm what?
Stormweaver.
No, we're not.
Stormweaver.
Soren,
Yo.
you are super excited and walking away, and you can hear them talking. And make a perception check for me.
Sure. Fuck. The balls. 10.
Nope, you're way too excited. So you are gone. You did not hear that guy's name.
That's fine.
Hmm.
Anyone else? What are you looking for? I can assist with anything you need.
There's an old guy whose name I didn't catch that we're supposed to like ask questions to. He has a couple of
Thistledown.
apprentices that went missing.
Thistledown, yes.
Thistledown.
Yes, Baravind Thistledown. People call him Old Man, but he's quite younger than me. It's kind of insulting to him.
Wow, I didn't know that old man would have helped. Okay.
I mean, if you want to call him Old Man, it's not nice. You know, he's not that old. But Baravind, yeah, he
How old are you?
old enough, my dear. He did lose some apprentices, and it's quite disturbing to him. Brilliant mind, but he is taken a header into the maw. Essentially, he's lost it a bit. So don't judge him too harshly. He's a little bit out there. Please, you can find him. Very small office on the 10th floor. That's where most of those are divided up to. But it's just him now. Bring this, and he just waves his fingers and abjures a cup of chamomile tea. You'll want to calm him down just a bit before you get him all riled up. You know what I mean? Don't drink this yourself. Far too strong for you, my dear. I'm sorry. No, there's something in the tea.
Like boozy?
No, like might kill you.
Drugs.
Okay.
Yes. Sometimes I have to use it when I need to speak with him. So just give him this. Tell him it's a gift from his friend downstairs, and he'd be happy to speak to you.
All right. And then I also have a couple personal questions, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Always happy to help a
so-
princess of Katia.
Am I
Holy
seeing anything with my
cow.
sight on this dude?
What's your site again?
If there's anything ethereal around this motherfucker.
So much. So fucking much. It is blinding to look at on that plane of existence. He is vibrant.
In Max's head. Okay, so I can see into the ethereal plane. Don't ask questions why. There's some weird shit with him.
No shit. Okay. Yes, I am the princess of Katia. Awesome. I'm so happy that people know.
People don't know. I know.
Okay.
You ask people what Katia is here, and they say, is that some new sort of candy that they're making? I don't know.
Oh. That is
I should
actually
make a
good
candy
idea.
with that
Yeah,
name.
the Katia candy.
We'll work on it.
Anyways, do you have any books on phenomancy and or draconic magic?
Draconic magic, yes. Phenomancy, restricted.
How restricted?
Nearly brought about the end of the world on Cyorion, and in turn it would have done so here. Those studies that have come here have been linked to people like the Ebon Hand now has access to it, unfortunately. Not taught, very restricted. Dark magic indeed.
Can you tell me where it is just so I know where not to look?
How are you traversing extra dimensional pockets?
How am I traversing extra dimensional planes?
How are you at, doing things like climbing into a bag of holding only for it to be, a dungeon of horrors, and walking through multiple planes of pocket existences just to find the restricted books at the end that, the books themselves may kill you, if not for all the nasties that we have guarding them. And by we, I mean me.
You're guarding it?
No, I mean, yes, this is my spire.
Okay.
When I say restricted, I mean no one fucking gets to see it, madam.
Okay, well, I'm like...
I thought you were going to work on your words not being so mean.
My words are my words. They're not mean or rude or nice or anything. They're
That's
exactly
debatable.
what you
You just hear that from far away. That's debatable.
Okay. So, between you and me, which you already know quite a bit about me, I don't know if you know this, but I've got phenomantic shit done to me. Which is... I just wish that I could know more about what was done.
Do you not want that?
I want to know.
You want to know how to not have the nasty things done to you anymore? Because, I mean...
No, I want to know
we could
what
take
was
that
done.
away easily. You suddenly feel weak.
Give it back.
I mean,
Give it the
you
fuck
asked,
back.
okay.
Give it... I didn't ask for it to get taken away. Don't go prodding around with me. Okay? I was asking what was done, not to get it taken away. I just want to know what was done.
Maximiel up and just set her down.
Well, the Freedomancy was
Max
done.
goes,
You just watch her head go.
I've been through
That's
enough
a
lightning
height
storms to know that I don't want to be a lightning rod right now. You, Maximiel,
You're perfectly safe in here. She can't cast spells in here anyways.
you just watch me, old man.
Blair is listening to her mind, and all you hear is.
No, I can't listen to your mind. I can only just establish communication.
Oh, okay.
So, very politely,
Mhm.
because, I do believe in some decorum, I just wanted to know if there was some way that I could find out what was done. If not, that's fine.
Sure, you can find out exactly what was done. Maximiel, I need you to roll a
Jesus
need you to roll
Christ.
a wisdom saving throw.
oh no!
Take a step to the left.
Okay,
Just gonna-
a natural 19
Okay.
for a total of 19.
Not enough for this
Oh
one.
no! Just
Maximiel's
Slowly
eyes just kind of roll back in their head, and you're out for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
The rest of you see
there she is.
Maximiel's eyes like flooding around rapidly. Max, you come out of this with see, it would be level 3 exhaustion.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Oh, there goes
And
our day.
I need everybody else to take off their headphones for a second, please. Thank you.
Oh shit.
oh.
Ben.
He sends your mind into essentially another waking plane of existence, which is why you have a level 3 exhaustion, because you're awake for 4 days straight.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And during those 4 days, you watch the entirety of your youth, the major points, as they come in and experiment on you as a out-of-body experience, and you get to look over their shoulders, read the books, and this is obviously why you stay awake, because they lead the books up. You can't actually touch and interact with anything, but during that time you see the different things that they cast on you. You realize that some of the magic is far beyond what you're capable of doing. However, you get the basic understanding of what they did with the Phenomancy and magically combining dragon DNA with yours and turning you into whatever this amalgamation that you become is. And you get the entire experience of all of the torture you went through and get to see that. So I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws to resist the psychic damage that you would take.
Ouch. The first one is a 9. The second one is a 16.
16's fine. So you only take half from that one. So you deal with the pain of watching all this happen for those 4 days. Ooh, everyone rolled higher. So you take a total of 28 points of psychic damage.
Okay. $28, you said?
28 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Okay, that's great. That's half of my health.
There's a lot of stuff you don't understand. They're basically combining what makes up the core of dragons with your physical being without changing how much you are as a person. You know, but the things happen, like you see the scales growing up, you see the electricity starting to come through. But you learn a fair amount about how to actually manipulate phenomancy. And it's a little unnerving. But at the end of this, you know exactly how they experimented on you. You can't grasp some of the spells that they did, but you do gain access to 2 spells from this that are now permanently added to your spellbook. I need to double check the power on this, so I will get you the exact numbers later, but you get a cantrip that is a these are both phenomancy cantrips that allow you to sacrifice or from a willing target pull the life essence from and infuse it into somebody else. They're 2 healing spells, so you learn how to basically do a cantrip short range transfusion at 15 feet that allows you to have somebody sacrifice a d6 of health, and at this level it would actually be 3d6. They could sacrifice 3d6 of health and heal somebody for the same amount, and then you also get a variant healing word, or which is a mass healing word, I think. It's a variant mass healing word that up to 6 creatures within 60 feet can decide to, willing creatures can decide to sacrifice or to gain. And if they sacrifice, they pump into a pool of d4s for healing. And then everybody who sacrifices, you can split the healing up to the other people as much as you want. And then you can raise that up with spell slots, an additional d4 per person.
Okay, interesting. Will I have like descriptions?
I'll get you the actual descriptions later and like type them up. I just had to come up with 2 spells on the spot, and those sounded really cool to me. So that's what you get.
Yeah. Okay.
So you exist in for 4 days out of space and time, and as far as you know, 4 days have passed. And you wake back up 4 days having not slept, exhausted, your mind racked, you fully re-experiencing everything that you went through, but also you learned a lot and you got to see a lot, and you managed to put together 2 phenomancy spells as a result of it. But you also get a glimpse of how dangerous this stuff really is, and you see in that time there that there were 2 other kids there with you, or 2 other like young people being experimented on, and both of them died as a result of it. Their bodies weren't strong enough to hold onto the changes. One of them just turned into a puddle of goo and fell apart on the table. The other one tried to channel what they were able to do during trials and literally forced themselves to explode in a ball of icy energy. Oh. Did I know them? You did not. Like you knew them now that your memory's unlocked from being there and hearing their voices. They had names. You don't know, like now you know that one was a half-elf and one was an orc. So there is Tad was the half-elf, Tad, T-A-D. And the half-orc was a female named Varek. Barek. And both of them
And-
died as a result of those experiments.
I had some draconic in me before the experiments started.
Yeah, you had some draconic bloodline somewhere back in
Okay.
your history. Which, over the discussions, you think that that's probably the reason you survived, is what they surmised, is that your latent draconic abilities saved you from being dead.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. Ready?
Cool. Yep.
Everybody else to come back. So,
Max falls backwards into Doran
Oh,
and just sort of like passes out. She looks really bad.
the hell did you do to her, old man?
oh, she knows things now. She got to see and learn, and she understands what happened to her. She wanted to
should
know,
let
and
the
now she
flesh-
knows.
The Fleshwalker people are very sensitive with their brain stuff. You gotta be careful when
Oh,
you're
they are,
putting
but when
things in
you
there.
when you test and press against what their capabilities are, they grow back stronger and more resilient, and they tend to learn new things that are exciting and powerful to them.
Maximil.
Is that right,
Maximil.
Maximil?
I'm awake. Oh.
You alive? Brain
Oh, she's
alive.
all there.
not
Don't
just
worry.
physically.
She's fine. She's fine.
Wait. We're all still here?
She
How
was
long
out-
has it been?
Like 30 seconds.
You've been passed out like for half a minute, yeah.
What?
Time does
Oh.
strange things in the mind. Yes.
Okay. Oh, my word. Okay.
Would you like
You
to
look
lie
like
down?
you
We have a
need
whole
to
bunch
sit
of like
down.
nice plushy benches. There are some sleeping areas that when people study too hard, that they can go rest and recuperate.
Oh, this place is perfect.
No, I wanted to talk to the thistledown fella.
Oh, sure. But,
That's-
I mean,
Maybe
you seem
we
quite
should-
exhausted in your state.
Yeah. Do
Let's
you have any like restoring spells that can help out with that?
I mean, I do, but I don't tend to spend time. Go to the hospital
Magic
wing up on
coffee?
the third floor. They have people tend to burn themselves and blow body parts off, so we have to have some people trained here. But if you go up there, they'll fix you up. You got a bed you can rest in, spend an hour napping while your friends look into things, and you can get up and you'll be fine.
I'll take you to the hospital wing, Maximil. Come on,
Thank you.
and I'll
Okay.
carry her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
I'm glad you got to
appreciated.
learn things, Maximil. That was quite good.
Me too. I'm glad I got to learn too.
You wouldn't have been able to read those things in a book, would you?
No.
Well, you did technically
Oh my
read some books, I'm
God.
sure. Yes. Yeah, there were some books in there.
Yeah. She was so young.
We're not there. God damn it.
It's quite a nice trick, that I learned from Benoinem on my time with her. It was very nice.
Oh.
You're connected.
Yeah, I know people.
Do you
Is
know?
Burgoyne doing okay?
I haven't talked to her in a while. I'm sure she's fine.
Do you know Cotrinks by any way?
Remind me, out of character, who?
Uh,
You can DM me
the-
really quick.
yeah.
my brain is drawing a blank. I just went off the deep end for Sarah, so I'm recovering. Oh, give me a second. I have not spoken Lord Arshenoth in some time.
Oh, that's what they call him here.
Yeah, they have different names for him. I mean, that's what based on what you're wearing. It's very Arshenoth-y. No, Cotrinks is as you know, the cycle needs guarding. Cotrinks is busy. But interesting person. Very, very interesting. They're quite a unique person. But no, it's been centuries since I've spoken to Cotrinks.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute for me as well, and I've been on that side, so it's a little funky over there for a bit.
Things are a little
Do you
weird.
got any books on what people here know about him, so I don't stand out?
Oh yes. Gods, deities, all major, minor, anything that you want to find. It's going to be second floor, the large study over there, and you see, religious studies, gods and deities and demons, and It's just this massive tomes of books, and it's a huge wing. And there's all sorts of interesting things up there. Arshanath will, I mean, the people here for Arshanath will likely be towards the back. Writes down a shelf number for you and a bookcase to go look into. Not a lot of positive things for Arshanath, as you know. Most people are typically afraid of a god of death.
Yeah, you just gotta
And
get to
undeath.
know him. He's really chill.
No,
I don't
Kodrik's
know why
fantastic.
I don't know why they're so weird about him here.
Yeah. People are weird about dying. They think it's the end.
Do I know you, by the way? I feel like I know you.
You've seen me before, Sparkle. Don't worry.
That's why I know you.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It
How are
has
you
been.
doing?
Yeah, good. I figured one day you would find your way here. You always had a penchant for wanting to get out and get into trouble. So
It hasn't really changed.
that's good. I'm glad. Good for you. But now you get to learn things and see what all the hubbub and fuss is about.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice of this Onirian, I think is the new one.
Yeah, he was my last one that I traveled with.
Yeah, but for Caritas to give you a portion of his soul so you can exist, quite interesting.
Yeah, it was, a little collaborative effort between all of them.
I can't remember the last time that's been done, so congratulations on being a new soul. Just don't piss off any gods that would see that as a destruction of their empire. The last time that happened, that's how we ended up where we're at, right? At least that's the theory.
Yeah, I'm trying to be good about it. I'm trying to be low-key. I just don't know what low-key means for the flesh walking.
Yeah, around here it's very different. I will give you the opportunity to make a history check.
Okay.
And it's actually, you know what? No. This is just going to be an emphasis check, because you're either going to be lucky
Emphasis
or
checks.
you're not. So 2d20s, whichever's farthest from 10.
My 20s. I'll use my 2 giant dice.
Do it.
It's fun. Oh, and you said furthest from 10, right?
Yep.
17 and a 3. So I think they're both
They're even,
equally
so
far
do it
away.
again.
Okay. 2 4s, so...
2 4s.
Nope.
You can't quite put your finger on it. This person, this aura that you see, has visited the ethereal plane before.
Mm-hmm.
Who or what this actually is, definitely not some 80-year-old human.
Yeah, I already picked that up.
That's all definitely been pieced together, but this is a multiplanar traveler. Who, from what you know of multiplanar travelers in the last 140 years, 150 years or so, actually about 100 years, they have not traveled multiplanarly. So may just be stuck here as he's trying to solve some problems. Or it could be here voluntarily. So it's either way, you're not quite sure exactly what it is.
By the way, let me know if you figure out what's going on with the whole blocking communication with everybody. I'd like to go visit Cotrinks again sometime.
Still haven't figured it out. No, there's when enigmatic leaders meddle with powerful magical artifacts that destroy the very fabric of reality, and that causes problems. Still haven't solved it.
Yeah.
Hoping that some doers of good deeds are on their way to solving those problems. No, it's not a problem that one person can solve, and usually the gods like it when mortals solve their own problems and fix things. It makes them all happy with what they've done.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the zoo will open one day again. You have yourself a fantastic day.
I hope so.
He runs back to help somebody else now
You
that
as
you're
well.
all taken off. And everybody's gone about their business. So it is hour and a half in here. We will take 5 to 10 and let people mull on what has just happened now that Sarah's screaming so hard, as she says in chat. But we'll be right back, everybody. Thanks. Welcome back, everybody. So,
Thank
where
you.
we left off, Maximil was heading up to the very, definitely not Potterverse style wizarding spire that's got on its own little hospital wing. The people blow themselves up.
I wonder why.
What happens when you mess around with experimental magic and you have a person who owns the spire that doesn't give a fuck what happens to people. He's just like, go for it, try it, learn new things. That's how you learn. You lose an arm,
What's that, you
well,
blew your
that's
arm
how
off?
you learn.
Here's a new arm.
Thanks for the follow, FE26 Manpap. Appreciate it.
Hey!
Give it- oh, also, super high thanks for awesome thanks to everybody for jumping in and following today. We totally smashed our follower goal today.
That is really
fantastic.
crazy how many people it's been just today and like the first half.
It was
That's-
Yeah, we're
phenomenal.
thinking 111 now.
Jeez. I love you
26
guys.
is my grandfather.
No way!
hello!
Hey, Grandpa.
It's,
We need new.
it's
Oh,
Iron
we need a
Man.
name out.
FE26.
I figured it was
man.
Iron Man. I was like, it could be, but I could be wrong and be not smart at all. So we got to give
Oh
him
my
the.
god, that's exactly the level of like galaxy brain shit that I would expect from his family.
Yeah. Yeah. It tracks.
Yep.
Mhm.
We give Iron Man Pap the high
It's
moms.
fucking,
He
that's
deserves it.
fucking hilarious.
So good. I saw FE26 man and I was like, is it really iron? Or FE I knew was iron, but I was like, I don't know. The 26 threw me off. Is that iron's number on the periodic table? Yeah, it totally was.
Iron is at 26, and cobalt nickel coins will get copper, zinc, and gallium, germanium, arsenic.
I forgot the song, but you, of course, you haven't memorized.
Yes, I have it memorized up until Krypton.
Good lord. All right. Well,
You
You all-
made that up.
you all hit the spire and scattered. Isadora's muted because she said something, but she was muted.
Nothing.
You don't want to go back and talk to him anymore? No? Leaving with your friends? Okay. Let's roll a d6 and see who we're going to first.
Yeah.
We will start with Maximil and Doran heading over to the hospital wing. Is anybody else going with them? Isadora, you were going up to look at magical artifacts, not like research. And Blair, were you heading over with Maximil and Doran?
Yeah, because I have the paper and I'll go look at those books later, but
Okay.
Max needs more attention right now.
Okay. You all head up to the second floor where there's a nice pristine white marble hallway that leads to a little hospital wing. And it says there's signs everywhere as soon as you get up the staircase that on the second level it says medical attention this direct, and there's arrows pointing to the hallway. You can see on this hall near there, there's a couple rooms that as people are coming in and out of the doors, you can see the space is much larger than expected. Looking beyond it,
Nice.
and there's people performing all sorts of magical experiments within like 3 doors of this hospital wing.
Interesting. Nice.
You make your way into it, and as soon as you come in to the area, a deep gnome walks up to you with a clipboard. All right, state the problem. What happened?
She got some kind of magical brain kablooey and passed out, and we just want
Is
to
this
have
a
her.
result of personal experimentation? Is another student or advisor responsible for it? Or did you happen to open a pocket dimension to creatures that have the ability to perform psychic damage on you, and they're possibly loose inside of the spire?
No, it's something
it was
that.
a Lark Stormweaver did it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that happens. All right, so you're feeling signs of exhaustion. Did he do the brain bubble where you went somewhere for a period of time and now you're really, really tired?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
That happens occasionally, very rarely, but that's what a blessing for you. That's really nice. That's quite nice that he
Yeah.
gave you that sort of insight.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting. I
Okay.
feel really
Well, that's great.
bad.
Here you go. Drink this. And then I need you to go take a rest in bed number 4 for about 30 minutes.
Okay. How does it taste?
It tastes like unsweetened chocolate, just like cacao powder. Very, very bitter. With as the end of it goes down, there's a very dry cinnamon feel in your mouth that makes you kind of like you took a spoonful of cinnamon powder and you're coughing a little bit. You cough and some dust goes out, and you breathe and you watch as the dust goes out and sucks back in, and Maximil falls unconscious If you don't mind
Oh,
carrying her
there's Felix.
down to bed number 4, please. Just she'll be back up in 30 minutes. Don't worry.
Pick her up and carry her over to the designated bed.
But before you take her, I need you to sign here, please, as the responsible party.
I
got it.
I'm sorry. I need someone more corporeal to sign for this one. Thank you. And he like walks past Blair over to.
So rude.
Hey, it's not rude. It's just a matter of who's physically on this plane more time, so that he's physically responsible for her. Thank you.
I'm technically physically here now.
Hey, you're. Then he like pokes through one of your transparent arms and expecting you to apparate it as you.
I would make it fully corporeal as he goes to poke it.
He does, and then make a dexterity check for me.
Did it roll? It did not.
Dexterity save, sorry.
I tried rolling it in game, didn't work, so. Oh, that's cocked. 19 total.
Okay, so you watch as he goes to poke, and then you feel the sensation that someone's poking on the other side, and you see a mirrored copy of him on the other side of you poking through the side that's not corporeal. So you get him on both sides, and he goes, see? I knew it.
Or just, and I open my maw to like take the pen in my mouth because I'm holding Maximil with both hands.
He sticks it in your mouth there and holds up the thing. All right, you just go ahead and keep that. Thank you. And goes off to help somebody else. You have a pen in your mouth and carrying Maximil.
Can I have that pen, Dord? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. What are the two of you, Blair and Doran, doing as Max is now unconscious for the next 30 minutes?
Doran's just kind of be sitting beside the bed, just keeping a watchful eye on Max, making sure she's okay. And if you want to go, Blair, and do any kind of research, it's okay. I will stay here with Maximil.
There's two
You
chairs
sure?
next
You
to
guys
the
are
bed
okay?
waiting for you guys.
I mean, she just kind of got her brain messed with by a very powerful ethereal godly entity, so I don't.
Yeah, what was that about? Like, you seemed like you kind of knew him, maybe?
I do. In a way.
Huh. All right. Well,
His. So I can. It's gonna sound weird. I can see into the ethereal plane constantly. And his stuff was really fucking blinding. And also, he talked about having lunch with the gods. It's been a hot minute since I've done that, so I knew he's on a whole different level than old man. He's a fake old man.
Are you taking a seat in the chairs available for the two of you and having this discussion over the bed?
yeah.
I'm talking to him in his mind. Not saying any of this out loud.
Oh, okay.
Blair, you go to sit down in the chair, and then it goes incorporeal as you're sitting into it, and you fall on the floor. As the little
Rude.
deep gnome walks by and he's holding his clipboard. See how that feels? Mm-hmm.
Rude!
This place seems to be very racist against you. I feel like that's maybe the right word. I don't know. This is not a nice place.
Speciesist?
Ghosts are race?
Speciesist.
It's probably because I caused him a lot of trouble on the other side a couple times, and don't worry about it.
Oh, like you personally were a problem for that one deep gnome? That seems kind of odd.
No, not the deep gnome, the big guy.
Oh, the big guy. Okay. Yeah.
It's been, a few centuries, but I may have pulled a prank one time, and he might not have forgiven me, but we'll see.
You have led a
You hear from the
very...
other side of the room. He hasn't.
It wasn't even that bad.
You
don't even
discorporated
remember what I
7
did.
individuals to another plane of existence.
Listen.
You did what now, Blair?
Listen. That's light work for me over there.
Because you thought it'd be funny to invert another pocket dimension into a bag of holding that they were experimenting on expanding.
Listen, they didn't tell me it was gonna do that. If they told me, I would have maybe not done it near everybody else.
Okay, I'm going to... Max has the bag of holding on her, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm just going to go ahead and just surreptitiously kind of take that and, like, hide it from Blair. Just, I think
I
this is
learned.
maybe just, for safekeeping, I think I would feel more comfortable if I held on to this out of reach of explosive hands or implosive hands. I don't know how that really
Okay,
works.
my power is greatly diminished on this side. I'm not gonna do that kind of stuff now because I also have a physical, fleshy body now that I kind of gotta make sure doesn't blow up.
It's true. I mean, how is it going to be in a fight if you are half incorporeal? Like could you like phase through if someone was trying to hit you with a weapon?
Maybe if I time it right. I don't know how that would work. I've not fought in a fleshy form yet.
I'll be honest, this whole kind of situation, I mean, literally this is all happening in the span of like a day and a half, so it's a little odd. I just hope Maximil got the answer she was looking for, because this is... I don't trust this place. I don't like magic things. I specifically don't like magic things that cause problems.
If
Then
I
you shouldn't
know,
like her. As the floor discorporates out from under, or like goes incorporeal below you and solidifies around your knees.
Stop being rude! I swear to all the gods.
You recognize now at this point the magic that Glibbin, who's an assistant to him, who's now stuck working in the hospital wing, was probably there during the prank and had to deal with the aftermath. And now that you're here is definitely getting some sort of twisted revenge.
Would it help if I say I'm sorry?
You did not apologize to anybody when it happened. But now you
To
know
be
what
fair,
it
there
feels
was a
like
lot-
to be stuck somewhere because your physical body doesn't allow it.
I've been dealing with that for like the last day and a half. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, see, now you know how they felt.
All right, I'm sorry for causing mischief.
Do a little less while you're here. And he
I'm not
reaches
gonna
out
do
a hand
mischief
and
in
like
here.
pulls you up out of the floor.
I won't do
Are there,
mischief
like,
in here, only outside.
Other patients you should be taking watch over instead
am
of
helping them.
harassing my...
You look down there's like 7 copies of him working at different beds.
Oh, right. Magic. Fucking shit. Okay.
Listen, to be fully transparent with you, I've been on the magic side of things. I kind of hang out with a lot of gods and things adjacent to gods, higher, lower, all that fun stuff. So it's morality is a little weird for me. So if I'm doing bad things here, please let me know.
Just try and think of the consequences of your actions. Think if I make this building go incorporeal, how many people are going to get hurt? And then don't do that.
That is a fair point. I've never had consequences for my actions before.
There's going to be consequences for your actions now. There are going to be so many consequences. Take it from somebody who came from a life of very heavy consequences for the tiniest of actions. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I don't know how that feels. But, we'll try.
Blair, are you going to continue to sit with Maximilian and Doran, or are you going to go off to learn
I'm gonna go
some
find
stuff?
that book since Doran has freed me of my responsibilities.
Okay, so we will switch now to Jaeger.
Sure.
What are you getting up to with your planned mischief there?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a library. Not knowing that there's pocket dimensions for the restricted section, he is obviously looking for a restricted section. So while he's
Okay.
walking around, I would assume going to the top floor and working my way down would be ideal. But I also want to try my monocle and see if I can see invisibility.
There are probably 5 or 6 dozen unseen servants working around here. Little homunculus-looking blobs of invisible creature that are gathering books and moving things from place to place. It looked previously like books were just like floating around, but now you can see there's a bunch of tiny invisible helpers doing jobs.
Perfect.
Moving a whole bunch of books around. If you're going up to the very top floor, you're trying to ride the lifts that are moving up and down, or are you gonna head
Yeah,
up the stairs?
so I would say like if the library has like titles and like section titles for where books and stuff are located, like if they're grouped in certain orders, that's what I'd be first looking for. And then top floor being, it's probably likelier up there than it is right on the ground floor to be restricted. So seeing what's up there first, I will ride the lift.
Book sections and lecture halls and study areas for different disciplines are on the first 6 floors. after that, from floor 7 up to 9 are larger, like lecture halls. There's some rooms and stuff that are bookable, things like that. So we'll not like call it meeting rooms. Those are floors 7 to 9, and then from 10 on up, it says, personal offices, and it doesn't have there's a directory. So like seems to be some sort of like name list that you can flip through. That you can't touch, is magical in nature, but if you wave your hand over it, it's an alphabetized list, and you see floor numbers and office numbers for just different people, and it says their area of study. But that's from floor 20 up to 17, and then 18, 19, and 20 are unlisted.
18. See if I can go up there.
Hit the button for 18. Nothing happens.
1920.
Nothing happens.
Access denied. Then I will be probably it'll go before the conference room. So what is that? Floor 6 would be the last floor of books.
Yep, 6 is the last floor.
Let's go to floor 6 and we'll start there.
Okay. You head up to floor 6 and you see a lot of smaller areas of magical study. You see the healing and detrimental effects of fungal creatures, like very small plaques and like a few rows of books and a couple small desks, really closets sizes of like a place for you to go grab these very specific small selections of books and try to pick things up. Like, the magical effects of the Dark Star has got, a little bit of a larger room, but it doesn't tie in as large as like some of the downstairs religious studies. These are like specific books to weird eldritch and outer sciences and magics. So there's lots of things about there's stuff about cryptid creatures that are not proven to exist. So there's like folklore and fairy tales listed as well, which is interesting because there are horrible magical creatures that exist in the world, and then there's these strange little folklore pieces that don't actually exist. Roll a active perception check as you pass that one.
And 19.
So an 18 gets you as you move past, like just beating that. You glance into that room, that weird cryptid folklore-y room, and there's something in there that catches your eye as familiar, but you'd have to go in and investigate. I apologize for the kids screaming in the hall. Give me a second.
You're fine.
So spirited.
This is a loud library, guys.
It is. There's children screaming all over the librry.
No, that's just clear in the background.
Really like testing magic here and failing.
You hear people screaming and dying in the background as it's just going wrong. Something catches your eye as familiar, and then it's like one of those things where you glance in there, you're like, huh, wait a second, what? And you can't spot it quite again.
I will spectrum analyzer thing and detect magic and see if there's any type of magic going on right here.
Probably like 30% of the tomes in these various rooms have some sort of enchantment on them. Mostly like divination or preservation type magics that are, maintaining the books for long term. There's some other different minor magics that are happening, but mostly around the books, not in the area that you're standing in or anything like that.
Okay, I'm going to come back to this because I only have 10 minutes with detect magic, and I want to get the good use and just do like a once over however long 10 minutes will go and see like where the most magic is coming from, like book wise, and then that's where I'll start. But I'll definitely be coming back to this one. Sure.
There are, like I said, probably about 30 to 40% of the tomes have some sort of magic around them, mostly trying to preserve the books. But it probably take you about 10 minutes to walk through floor 6 and like 5 below you looking for magic.
Perfect. Because the the inevitable search that I would like to do would be for anything around like the anchors, whatever that means, anything about Jatanya, anything around Drobates and the Society of Esteemed Phenomancers, if I can find that.
Okay.
And then the moons specifically tying to Blood Orc curses. So that would be like the general gist of what I'm looking for.
Specifically, the most magical book you spot is in a Studies of the Divine and Holy Gods. So on the 5th floor down below you, there's a larger section, and there is a book in there that is just shining like crazy, radiating divine magic.
Dope.
That is the most magical book before your divine or detect magic expires. Most of the books here are being preserved in some fashion. They're not enchanted with any sort of magic on them besides just preserving the books, maintaining the information within, and not letting them decay.
Is there a large amount of these unseen servants accumulating anywhere? Like, does it seem
They're
like
working
there's...
pretty effectively everywhere. Like,
Okay.
even if you see a bunch of them together, they're all on specific missions. They grab 2 or 3 tomes or have a cart with them and like load a few things up, and then they're moving. They're grabbing books for people, moving them around, and you see them heading back to the lifts. And there's like 4 lifts in this big central pillar, and they're constantly going up and down in them. Even when you ride, you like climb into the lift when you went up there initially, and there's 4 or 5 carts in there with you, and probably 8 unseen servants like holding various things. And as you walk in, everything kind of shifts out of the way a little bit to give you space, but you can see that you're surrounded by unseen servants. They're all just staring forward, holding their books.
Sweet. Okay. I will go grab the divine book.
Okay.
Assume that I can take it with me upstairs.
Yeah.
I will grab that, take it upstairs, and go back to the one where there was the first note of all the enchanted books and stuff, and where whatever caught my eye.
Make an investigation check up there.
You got it. $18.
So you find a tome in there that was interesting to you because it's got NW scrawled on the spine.
Oh,
and it says
no.
The Legend of the Nightwalker.
Oh, sick. Someone wrote a book about me.
Fairly thin tome, and the book seems to be decently new. And it does not have a very Farrellin name. The name is seems more of Ashahoya or Katya.
Interesting.
So it seems like someone wrote this and it ended up here somehow.
How are books getting here? This wizard's hoarding knowledge from our side too.
Magic.
Yeah. Okay. Anything about? I'm
You're
just gonna
up on
collect
the
that book
6th
too.
floor, right?
Yeah. Back up to the 6th. Anything about blood orcs?
You have you do have detect invisibility on.
Yes.
So you do see the unseen servants coming out of a spot in the wall that looks like it's nothing from the outside, but you see them like walking through the wall.
Now we're talking. I will grab a random book and off the shelf and go sit where I can watch them come in and out and see if there's a pattern of any way, and just fake read this book. I'll read some of it just to know what's in it, but
You just grabbing a
Fake
random
reading.
one, or are you fake reading the legend?
completely no, completely random, just picking a book off the shelf
Okay.
because I will purposely read the other two.
Sure. So you grab a random tome that says, it's the legend of Steve the Adventurer and the distant realms of memory, and it's really this unremarkable leather-bound book, and it's inscribed in a combination of different languages talking about lost kingdoms and artifact lore. It seems almost like a children's novelization of a history of another world.
Sweet, I will go get pieces of that.
You
Just-
definitely pulled it from the one section that was just like children's fiction, and it was like this little tiny bookshelf that you're just like, I need a random book. You didn't even think because it was right next to the area they're walking into, and you flip through and you're like, this is a kid's book. And yeah, they are essentially near this little ignored section that you grab this book from. They are walking in and out either with empty or full carts and coming back with the opposite. You can't tell who's who, but you see both empty and full carts and bundles of books moving in and out of this phase spot in the wall.
Is it like...
And you see as soon as they get within like 20 feet of this spot, whatever they're carrying shifts invisible as well.
Is there any like pattern to it? Is it just they're constantly in and out, or is there
Constantly
like a break
They're
where
working.
I could sneak in a moment, just see if I
make
can
an
walk in that way?
Arcana check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 26.
Cool. You know about the spell Unseen Servant. It's low enough level that you've read a little bit
I
about
have
it.
it.
You have the spell, so that makes it even easier. But you know that these guys are, with your Arcana check and knowing about the spell, the servant performs a task. Normally, if they move a little bit too far away from you, the spell ends. But these ones are almost permanently enchanted somehow. It seems they are the cogs working here, but they know that Unseen Servants listen to their tasks, their information. They do their job. You could stand in their way and they would just walk around you and completely ignore you.
All right. It's less them that I'm worried about. It's whatever else could be here that's also part of it. Oh, well, I'm going to go in and just stick my head through the phased wall if I can. First, I'll touch it. I won't like stick my head in first. That's kind of stupid.
So you put your hand on the wall and you feel that there's nothing there.
Head goes through.
You push your head in a little bit and you see that there's another archway. And it says at the top of it, receiving and sorting. And there's a little hallway that these little guys are walking down, and they go down and they curve around a corner to the left, and you can hear stuff shuffling and moving around that other area.
I'm going in.
Okay. Are you going in just walking straight in, or trying to be sneaky about it?
I am being sneaky, but not to the point where I don't want it to seem like I'm sneaking, but like I'll be walking very slowly in case there's a ruse. So it would technically be stealthing, but I don't want to be like crouched walking and super sneaky looking. Suspicious. I don't want to be suspicious.
Go ahead and just make a stealth check just for like trying to quietly walk in there.
18.
Cool. You make your way around the corner and you see this large open chamber. The first thing that catches your eye is that it's fairly dim in here, but there's a little bit of light as these unseen servants are moving around, collecting carts and pushing things around, and there's walls of book, and then suddenly a swirling vortex opens and a bunch of books fall out of it. Occasionally you see a hand reach into somewhere, and that's when it first catches your eye as this like strange tentacle of black and purple energy goes and like holds up the book. The hand grabs it and lifts it back out of the portal. You realize the air here feels different, and you, with your spectrum analyzer going and the monocle of clarity, there is a clear phasing wall here where you're stepping into this tiny little pocket dimension. As you kind of sneak through and look, there is a creature with no defined form, a void black mass at the center of this room. Its essence is ever shifting and amorphous. The core is an ethereal mass of inky darkness from which countless shadowy tentacles and arms extend like branches of a twisted tree. Each tentacle bears these ghostly skeletal fingers that materialize and dematerialize at will, collecting books from the piles of books and sorting them onto carts, holding them back up to portals, grabbing new ones that are coming in and moving them around the space.
No thanks. Don't like that. The dumbest thought came into my mind. You said pocket dimension. I am holding a bag of holding. That doesn't affect us, does it?
Nope. It doesn't.
Okay, good.
But
I
as soon
thought I
as
was
you
gonna be dead, guys.
as soon as you like realize that you're in a weird space, you're like, I'm holding a bag of holding, and like you're staring at this creature around the corner, and like your mind's trying to comprehend it. You think back to the bag of holding, and you look behind you, and it is suspended behind you against the barrier, like held up tautly as you're looking around behind it. And as you look at that for a moment, the archmage that your friends were talking to downstairs appears behind you.
Nice.
Terribly sorry, friend. You seem to have wandered into a place that is beyond your understanding or reason for being here. I'm going to ask you to kindly leave the Liber Spectre alone, and it's doing its job, and just come out this direction, and do not interfere with it. Otherwise, I can have no guarantee for your safety.
Yep, I'm turning around. Definitely wandered into the wrong spot.
Yes. The Tome Harbinger is not one to be trifled with. It has a specific duty for which I have captured it, and it is doing that function to the best of its abilities, and I suggest that you just pretend like you never saw this place, or I can forcibly, if you would prefer, I can make it so you don't remember this place and that you go about your business.
What place are you talking about?
Oh, that's very clever. I like that. Would you like me to ensure that you don't remember it so you don't get haunted in your nightmares by a specter of libraries?
To be honest, I think I've seen worse, but I'm okay.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
I would suggest
It was
that
a
you,
misunderstanding.
no, not a
and
problem. It's a vast
mistake.
library of things to explore, and of course, all sorts of secrets want to be discovered here. But that bag of holding would have been a disaster going in there. So I am glad that
Yes.
my spell worked properly and it kept it at bay. So thank you very much for your time, and I have other duties to attend to. As he like helps you move back this direction, talking to you, and goes "Phew," and disappears.
I'll just put away the children's book and go sit down and read the other two.
You
So I'll be reading.
you try to press the thought of the Liber Spectre, the Tome Harbinger, out of your mind as you sit down to read other books for a bit and hopefully learn some new things. So we will switch gears and go to Soren. Soren, you head up. Where are you going to first? Which book did you want to go find first?
I want to go find the journal for Miss Swiftblade.
Okay. You head up to the aforementioned bookshelf and row and start filtering through it, and describe this feeling. You are flicking through the books, waiting to find something that has been a desire, your deepest seated dream for as long as you could remember. You are about to find a personal journal of a known blade singer, someone far beyond your thoughts of ever achieving. What is this feeling like to you?
It's a complicated mixture of anxiety and, you know, kid in a candy store excitement, but also trying to remain composed, trying to, you know, focus enough to be able to find the damn thing, and then just like thoughts of years spent trying to figure out this whole art form on my own, and the thought that there are so few books that remain and that this one is supposedly something special. That kind of lingering hope that hope mixed with fear that I hope this is something that is actually useful to me and isn't just, you know, too alien, too refined for the kind of I suppose in a sort of weird way homebrewed style that he's developed for this recreated style of fighting and magic. And yeah, all of that just kind of on repeat. The thoughts of his mentor drift back in a little bit every now and then, and he's not really doing it for him, but not entirely, at least. But there's a piece of him that's wanting to make sure that this legacy continues for that person and for all the people before that are no longer around to ensure that it survives.
Your fingers dance across the spines of books, counting off the numbers in your head, and your finger comes to rest on a masterfully crafted leather tome. You pull it out and see the cover adorned with the intricate engravings of elven runes and swirling motifs. The insignia on the front bears a swirling, stylized blade that glows with a faint silvery light. You note that the edges of the paper are gilded and seem to be enchanted. There's a bit of a glow coming off of them. The room that you're in, the specific corridor of books, seems to be quiet in a plush leather overstuffed chair with a small table beckons you in the corner to sit down and open this book. As you do, you hear something go clink on the table next to you, and you look over, and there's a note underneath a teacup. It says, "To discovering the past."
Was it there before?
It was not. And it's signed Ulrich. And there's a warm cup of your favorite tea steaming next to you.
Just kind of smile, take the tea, go sit in the corner.
You note that the pages, as you begin to open it, glow, casts a gentle luminescence. The journal itself exudes this aura of elegance, mirroring what you knew before from your master. This level of grace and precision. The pages themselves are made with a rare blend of some sort of enchanted paper, shimmering and causing that bit of glow and luminescence in the area. And you see that the ink pen that must have been used to inscribe this is a unique blend of elven ink and some enchanted quill. As she spoke the words to it, creates an elegant flowing script that, as you read it, even the pen strokes look like a dance across the pages. You hear subtle whispers as the book is opened. The journal is speaking to you. There's some sort of enchantment on this that provides a bit of an auditory backdrop to the tales written within. It softly whispers as you look at these pages and read echoes of the places that it was when these pages were written. You hear mentions of the forest, the Wastemanor forest around Gwayer itself. You hear the kingdom of Kiath in its infancy, frigid tundras to the south of where you grew up, in Busat, spoken of. You hear about Holarima, the rhyme of the world, as she explored frigid places to write the pages. That this book speaks back to you and provides you the scene. You can almost picture clearly in your mind hearing this, where she was as she wrote in the journal. There are a few major points about the content. Without going into the specific details, you see a trove of knowledge in varying patterns of discussion with herself and how she's worked out some of the different moves and the elements which she pulls her inspiration from. She goes over a few major things in the content in not so many words. There's lots of personal insights, but essentially it comes down to 5 major points. There's the Combat Chronicles, where she meticulously details all of her combat experiences. She speaks about the fluid dances and of blades and the ebb and flow of magical energies as she encounters combat and engages in the battlefield. Each entry is a vivid portrayal of the artistry that is true blade scene, capturing the essence of the dance between life and death. Interspersed throughout the journal are these poetic verses and musings inspired by Seraphina's connection to the wind. She calls it Whispers of the Wind. These passages delve into the philosophical aspects of her journey. She explores the interplay between swift breezes and the swift blade. There are magical insights. It contains meticulous notes on magical techniques and spells that she's mastered. Diagrams and arcane symbols accompany the descriptions of the spells, provides a glimpse into the fusion of the martial prowess and the arcane mastery that defined her. This does serve as a wizard's spell book, and there is a list of spells in here that are, as you go through, that you can glean from this book. If you consume the book and destroy them by transposing them to yours.
It destroys the book?
There seems to be some sort of enchantment that if you wanted to pull directly from them, you could and destroy the book, but you learn a lot more about her personal reflections on here and how this isn't just a record of battles and magical discoveries, but it's a mirror through her inner thoughts and her desire to instill the knowledge into people, but it also reveals her doubts, the moments of vulnerability she shares with her only companion, this silent companion, the journal. And she feared that allowing this to come into the hands of someone who was greedy for the power without the commitment to the art. And she designed this tome in a way that the enchantments, if someone used this to gain access to the powers solely and not connect themselves to the art, would destroy this tome upon pulling the spells out. There's a commitment to blade singing that's required to truly instill the teachings in this, and that's what when she talks about the personal reflections, this is primarily her doubts and her vulnerability about making sure that the art continues. It talks a lot about Gwayer and its move to being a political power, and the fact that they're losing touch and with some of the things that they held most sacred in blade singing. And that is why, she left Gwayer at one point. She spoke of a couple young people. Specifically, she's talked about a young Lorxina wood singer of the this was actually a wood elf that was from Wastemanor that she had run into, and they had spent time discussing it. But Lorxina had been a promising pupil of blade singing at the time. She called her a very young whelpling, someone who was freshly off the teat and exploring the magic of dancing with the wind. Probably somewhere between 15 and 30 years old at that point, very, very young when she wrote this. And finally, the most impressive and exciting piece is sketches of her blade itself. Sketches adorn the margins, illustrating the intricate details of the swift blade that Seraphina considered an extension of herself. They capture the essence of the weapon and serve as both functional diagrams of building a weapon like this, as well as works of art. You could trim the pages out of these and frame them, and they would belong in a museum as far as you're concerned, in a collection of fine art. But it's more than just a journal. This is a testament to the life, art, and soul of Seraphina Swiftblade, and captures the essence of her journey as a blade singer.
Do I get the sense, reading this, she talks about people not being committed to it and just wanting the power for the sake of the power. Do I get the sense that where I'm at in my journey to, study this and recreate this, that I would meet the criteria to be able to copy it without destroying it?
You know that your...
As I understand it, it's like someone who could rip the pages out and learn the spells or whatever, but could I transpose them?
You feel like with the guidance of this book that you would be able to achieve some of the things that you've always dreamed about, truly resurrecting this as an art form, and that this would be the codex of which you base your teachings off of. You know that it would take some time to master it, but you could gain the knowledge that she shares in here. Out of character, what that means is if you manage to keep a hold of this book, you would be able to learn 2 additional spells out of this book at this point, and then every level up from here until you're done, you would gain an additional spell for free out of this tome as you committed yourself to the teachings of it.
Okay.
Quite an interesting lost art, isn't it? You look
As
up
I'm
from
reading
the
the
book
book.
and he's sipping the tea right across from you.
You read my mind. I was just about to utter out into the darkness in the assumption that you were listening.
I'm
This
always
is-
paying attention, but very few times do I have someone as accomplished as yourself and willing to study and live the art of blade singing that would deserve a tome like this.
I wouldn't say I deserve it, but I would not lie and say that I don't want it.
Few practitioners exist beyond the realms of
Do you know-
mortals for this.
Do you know why? I mean, obviously there's less elves around, but I've met more than a few.
An impractical and long-studied art. It is a unique intersection of a person who must be of sound magical, martial, but also natural mind. Typically, people tend to focus on one of the three studies. When it comes to elves, that is, that they would either become shaman or druids or oracles of the land itself. They would, focus on martial capabilities or, physically crafting blades, or they would devote themselves to the divine magical arts and try to explore what was capable of twisting the fabric of reality. Very few people could manage the intersection of capabilities that blade singing offers, and not only wield that power, but realize that the dance is one of art and the greatest expression of love for the fabric of reality that creates the magical weave, as well as the existence of the material plane.
Well said. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that it would take me a long time to fully understand all of this intricate and painstakingly crafted work.
It would. And I fear that you and I both realize now that time is working against you, young Soren. The hunger that eats within you is no longer just the hunger of blade singing, but I know you felt something is wrong. I can see it in you.
What is it?
I'm unsure. It should come as no surprise to you, someone who is as critical of the gods as you are, that they have been absent for some time, and I've been seeking to answer why. I've been collecting all of the knowledge of the realms here as well as I can, but my normal contact with, here, pardon me for being frank, but you could see through the facade, my normal conversations with beings like myself has ceased.
I would imagine so.
The sky shattered.
People on the other side are meticulously working at figuring out why it's broken and why things don't work as they should. And
They should. As they should. People should know that this is a very risky time for us. Creatures can move against us in ways that previously were not possible. There was someone always watching out for us, but power has been sequestered for a century now and has awaited and bided its time and prepares to strike against this place and claim it as their own.
And you, of course, know that's why we're here.
I do. And I wish that I could help, but as your friend Blair was so quick to point out, the manifestation of myself exists here and is quite powerful in your realm, but is still a fragmented portion of what I am. I am quite weakened in this state when it comes to dealing with entities from beyond this world. Unfortunately, a creature like that which you face that has infested you would do the same to me and wield what I am for their own benefit.
Is that what's going to happen to me?
I don't know. Imana has worked her way into raising dead bodies and the specters of what our friends used to be into an army against us. But I've heard rumblings of the Herald of Rot. and I've come to believe that they are not one and the same. And unfortunately,
What
I
makes you think
think that because Imana is not as strong as we think she is.
I see.
I think that Imana is a gatekeeper. Is leading the way to opening the door to the Herald itself. A far more twisted and powerful creature that exists beyond what I can perceive. She's not here. But I think that she is connected to Imana somehow.
Is she a gatekeeper or a gate opener?
I'm unsure. I try to perceive these things and look beyond, but Imana and her thoughts are abstract and discarded as well. She does not understand what it is she trifles with, and some thread of her exists beyond this realm. Some piece travels out beyond what I can see. It's connected to this herald. It happened.
Puppets playing with puppets.
Yes, it happened. From what I can recall. Notes here. It happened about 2.5 months ago. There was a shift. Something I didn't quite expect or understand. Things were undone. Some great powerful entity changed the course of what was to happen, and the fracture grew worse.
Let's see.
But because of that, unfortunately, Imana paves the way for the Herald, and you have been her first victim. All I can tell is, Soren, you are becoming an example of what this world will be should she succeed. I don't know what that means or how to fix it. Unfortunately, this power escapes me. It's as if I'm looking into a display of smashed crystals in a bottle, watching the light refract and refract over and over, and it puzzles me. What do you feel, Soren?
Empty. It's not the first time I've felt empty, but it's different.
I see.
It's an empty that swallows the anger. It's an empty that swallows this fear and the sadness and everything else.
I wish that I could help you. I wish that I was capable of altering that. There may be some here who can assist you with it, as you more materially exist on their plane, but all I can offer is solace and a bit of the achievement of a dream, if you will. That tome always has been and will be yours, Soren. It has been waiting for you to collect it. Take it with you and learn what it has to say.
There's like a single tear that just kind of rolls down his cheek as he smiles. I'm not one for words, but my most heartfelt thank you.
You can thank me by bringing this beautiful art back to the world and fighting whatever it is that it eats at you. I hope you find some way to fix it, and I wish that I could do more. He stands up and sets his teacup down, breathes a sigh, and as he exhales, he disappears from in front of you.
As he disappears, he just... Fuck. And he'll take another look at the blade on the page in the margins of the book. living for all of us now. I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Okay. Isadora. Oh, you head into a larger section of books that has tome after tome written on the magical artifacts and gifts from the god, and highly enchanted and powerful things, legends that exist far beyond your understanding. There's an entire shelf about some place called Neritria that once boasted powerful wizards that could create some of the most impressive artifacts. You see tomes on gifts from God specifically, and those that have wielded items to elevate themselves to godhood and in turn gifted the world. But there is a large amount of information here. There seems to almost be a complete catalog of magical items that have appeared before, both in Cyorion and Eterna. And you are the only person interested in this stuff. There is dust covering all of the shelves here. You've passed by the blacksmiths and like the enchanting tomes, and you saw that those sections were much larger. Most people appeared more interested in divining ways to empower their own things and like create powerful enchantments themselves to rise up their personal status, rather than spend time poring over books that describe what gods have granted mortals in the past.
So everything's covered in dust.
It is
Is
in
there
that
anything?
section.
Is there anything in that section that is less dusty or has any kind of indication that someone has recently touched it?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, a 2.
Unfortunately, no. With a 2, it's just really, really dusty and old in here. Hard to tell.
She doesn't really know what she's doing there. She thought she would just kind of stumble upon something and has no luck.
Cool. Then we're going to totally do an emphasis check for you.
Okay.
Throw the girl a line. Hey.
A 17 and a 12.
Bam. Nestled amongst the tomes, you find an interesting little book. Where's my mouse so I can get back to notes? Grab. In this area, you find a really interesting tome that you're drawn to. That, because of your emphasis check, and let's see what your path. Or instead, you just suck at all those. Never mind. I mean, you do note there's a smudge in the dust here. Now that you're looking at this tome, this one may have been checked out or looked at sometime more recently than the others, but there's still a bunch of dust here. Name of this book is Gates Unveiled, a treatise on teleportation artifacts. In it, this weighty and scholarly tome bound in rich indigo leather embossed with arcane symbols that seems to shimmer in weird patterns of light as you're kind of like moving around. It's written in an elegant silver script. The edges are tinged with a faint iridescence, and the parchment's of fairly high quality. It's a little bit beyond your understanding and knowledge, but you recall.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
She's gonna take this moment to reflect and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yep. Sorry, I got this weird cough, so you're fine.
She's gonna take this moment to reflect and be like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But she has this idea where she's like, after just kind of blindly looking around, she's like, but I do think I actually know exactly what I want to look for in this library. And now that, like, it's obvious that there's a collection of all of this world, including Cyorion and not just Eterna, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wants to find the section dedicated to, what's that one city?
Neritria?
The one. I'm gonna DM you.
Okay.
The one with the people,
The people, yeah,
they have the face.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to roll a d20 really quick.
Okay. Well, she knows about this place.
Yep. I just want you to roll a d20
Oh,
for me.
Ooh.
A 3.
This book talks about like weird stone circles, like strange artifacts, like teleportation. Nothing really interested about you. It's got, you know, diagrams of runes beyond your understanding, these weird crystals, like people moving through portals, and you just go, fuck this. Stick it back on the shelf.
Yeah, that's exactly what she does.
You consider
And,
for a moment wanting to know about a bit of history, and you decide to go looking for books about Gwayer.
Okay.
You find a history and geography section. There's a small section in the back, a small shelf that's, you know, very untouched, that, you know, as you walk to it, you see someone leaning in. That should be reclassified under fairy tales. It's a waste of your time. You see this 2 shelf section about Cyorion. You find a tome called the Lengthy and Detailed Histories of the Elves of Gwayer and the Establishment of this Great City.
Okay. She's gonna pick that one up. Open it.
I need to go to my old notes. This is going to take a second because it's written by someone interesting. Dang it. One second. Come on. Sign in faster, old data information plate that I have not transcribed to my new notes yet. So it is a, you know, this history of the establishment of Gwayer and the detailed history of the construction of the city, right? And it says penned by Ionafia. And I will put that into stream chat. So it's a hardy tome, quite thick, bound in green leather. Almost appears to be scales, like dragon scales, carved into the side of it, and it is written in a script that as soon as you open the cover, you cannot understand.
It's not Elvish?
It is not.
And what was the title of the book?
Oh, some shit that I just made up. Hold on. I'm gonna type it out this time because it is an extensive and detailed history of the creation of Gwayer and the tales of the elves that inhabited it. And by Ionafia. There,
Okay.
giant book name
Alright.
for a giant tome that's written in Elvish on the cover, and then you open it and you don't understand what it says.
Fuck. She's just staring at it, just like defeated. Like, okay, well, is this a sign? Should I wasting my time, aren't I?
You have other friends that are much better at books than you are. You're good at guns and shooting and being intimidating, but you've known through your time with the association that you got to figure something out. Delegate that job. You've always done that.
Yeah. She's gonna close that and pocket it. Try to go find one of her friends, or
It's
maybe
like this fucking thick and like this big. You've got
by
to.
pocket I mean she's got it
You
tucked
got it tucked
under
under
her
your
arm. Yeah. But hoping maybe to run back into Alaric. Not because she quite enjoys the conversation, but maybe because he could answer her questions.
Sure. About this time too, Max, you're waking up.
How do
Max.
I feel?
You no longer have exhaustion at all. All 3 levels are
Frick
healed,
yeah.
and you get your health back. You get the 38 points of psychic damage you took back.
You had 3 levels
Jesus
of exhaustion.
Christ.
I had 3
Jesus.
levels of exhaustion and I was at half HP.
What the fuck happened to you?
Holy
She
shit.
existed elsewhere for 4 days and got her brain racked.
Yikes.
Yeah. And relived trauma.
So you and Doran are sitting. Doran's sitting next to you, just waiting, calmly reading some local newspaper that was available to him. Like there's a stack of like magazines or something that's like highlights for Dragonborn.
It's the highlights. It's the highlights. Exactly. I was just going to make the same fucking joke.
I'm
Highlights for
sorry.
I'm
Dragonborn.
all.
Highlights for Dragonborn.
Who are you?
Fuck.
Maximil, you're starting to worry me. You know who
I'm
I am.
kidding.
Actually,
Yeah,
don't
I
do
got
that
you.
shit.
I got you.
I am gullible.
Sorry. Anyways,
See if I give you
how
any
long
more
was I
shoulder
out?
rides.
Oh.
Well, the first time you were out for about 30 seconds, and then now you've been out for like about half an hour. So
Okay, that's good.
Mm. You feel all right? Should we maybe go find the others?
Yeah. Oh man, I learned a lot. Oh, that was interesting.
Like, what exactly happened? Because all we saw was you pass out and then wake up and then need to be taken to the hospital.
So he sent me into my past, and so I got to witness all of the research done to me, all of the experimentation, and I looked over their shoulders to check out what they were doing to me and read the books that they left open. So I now know about phenomancy a bit, and like kind of how to do it.
Okay, that's just too much for my small brain. And we need to get Jaeger and we need to get Soren because they're
It's too
smarter
much
than
for
me.
your brain. I took half of my hit points and psychic damage.
What's a hit point?
Sorry, I think I hit my head on the 4th wall.
Yeah. It's the point at which you hit your head. Hit point. All right,
Isadora.
let's go find the others.
Isadora, as you're walking back, like consistent, like deciding you need to go back and talk to this weird archmage that you ran into. You're opening up the book again, kind of looking at it. And you pause for a moment. You look at the language you can't see, and then you look and see that there's an art piece inscribed in the cover, and you see it's a depiction of a tapestry, as if someone had painted what a tapestry had been made out of. And it shows the creation of like these elves laying the foundation of Gwair. You see this red-robed figure with a brown top and glasses and beautiful brown flowing hair, and you see a woman in a green dress next to her, observing what's happening with these striking blue eyes. The two of them are talking with the elves as they, lay the foundation. Then you kind of flip back to the other side because, hey, books have inscriptions on both inside covers. And looking at the other inside cover, you see that it's like a timeline. They show the elves like getting things laid in foundation, and then suddenly they're on the back cover. They're standing over these like beautiful spires of like the towering city of Gwayr. You see all the beautiful elven architecture mixing seamlessly with the trees and the forest. The woman with the red ankle length dress is standing next to the woman in the green dress, and the woman in the green dress is handing a copy of this book, this big green scale bound tome, to the elves, and they're graciously accepting it. And it looks like there's a massive library that they're standing in front of that's got its doors open. Seems to be some sort of ceremony that's happening. And you like pause and look at this in front of the hospital wing. Doran and Maximil, as you're walking out, you see Isadora looking at this book, acting all confused.
Isadora, you found something?
Does it look like Bryndoinum in humanish form, giving the book away?
Oh, you have no idea because you're not looking at it yet. Isadora's got the book kind of going, huh? And you're walking up to her.
Hey, what you looking at there? You're muted.
I think she's just stunned, not muted.
Stunned silence.
Yeah. It's a touched thing.
Yeah. She starts moving her mouth and the words are coming out. She's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my voice on. No. But she's like, this really very old, big book about Gwayr. With a very long title. By a lady with a weird name. And it's got weird pictures. And it's written in a language I don't know.
Ooh, can we see?
Yeah, you know what? Go for it. I am utterly lost.
Maximil, you look at the front cover of the book. It says an extensive and detailed history of the creation of Gwayr and the tales of the elves that inhabit it, penned by Iovneifia. You open the front cover, then you see Berdige on the title page.
Oh!
And you look to the left. And
I can kind of speak
you
this.
see Bryndoinum in her humanoid form, standing next to a woman in a green dress.
Oh, it's Bryndoinum.
And in Berdige on the front cover, on Berdige on the front cover, it says, with assistance from Bryndoinum, the aspect of time, penned by Iovneifia, the aspect of life.
Oh shit.
And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh.
Girl boss.
Question, Ben, because I definitely missed it in that moment. He mentioned there was someone that has been absent for about a century. What was the name there? Because I just missed it. So I think it was someone associated with life.
I'm trying to remember because I don't think I had a particular name. I think okay. I'll
go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, it's either I did say it, but really the message he was getting across was there were creatures that he had used to been in contact with before he kind of fractured himself that he can now no longer reach since about a century.
Okay.
Which automatically within your brain, like for Soren, would have lined up to the shattering.
Yeah.
And that was with the help of Bryndoinum of time and who of life?
The author.
The author is the aspect of life.
Wow.
Written.
We're just up to our elbows in dragon aspects.
We saw the.
There's like 7 of them. I mean, 6 of them. Totally not 7.
There's the well, the 7th doesn't really exist anymore. That was what I was talking about at the years upon years ago. But session 6, we saw a dragon tapestry that looks exactly like what you just described.
Oh my god!
That was my first thought too. I was like, "Oh, it's the fucking tapestry from."
Yes.
Wow.
What was that place's name? I forget.
Bayenta.
Bayenta, yeah.
It's not a bowl, it's a circle.
Thanks everybody for joining us today. I think
Why you gotta put me
on
on these cliffhangers, Ben?
that's
This is not
hardly a
the first
cliffhanger.
time.
It's not that bad.
God damn it! It did
Yeah.
it again.
He did it again.
At least you know what's in your books.
Quit banning
My
people.
cliffhangers, I don't even know.
I'm literally just
Right.
clicking into the send a message box on Twitch, and it's like doing weird stuff.
So weird.
Just stop sending messages.
I'm gonna just close out of the Twitch thing.
Or maybe.
Maybe
So
for the
we
best. Maybe it's
Bye,
safer that way.
Mom.
we should be.
Bye,
Yeah, I don't think we're
Bye,
off next
Mom.
week, so we should be back to our normal schedule until the holidays here. So thanks everybody for joining us. Bye, Mom. Thanks to everybody
Bye,
who
Mom.
came in and supported us today and got us to
Yeah.
111
Yay.
followers. Thank you all so much. We love you guys.
We're gonna raid.
Yep, we're gonna go find somebody to raid. So please
I
stick
think I
around.
saw either good options. Sweet Tea Games, who I love. Roll for Perception is awesome. I think we've rated them before.
Yeah.
Or Girls
The
Run These Worlds.
girls run these
Girls
worlds.
Run These Worlds are
They're-
awesome. We
they're
do
on right
love
now.
them. So we'll go find somebody to raid. Please stick around and support the raid. And we'll see you guys all next week. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.